Welcome to the No Practice Podcast, where we cover the only sport in the world where there is no practice. With your mini rod driving host, Adam Kester, Tyler Slaw, and Chase Richardson. Strap in for some debates on the world of pulling, exclusive special guests, and a whole lot of nonsense BS. The No Practice Podcast starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 26 of the No Practice Podcast. We're all surprised we made it to episode 26. Fun fact, this is the very first show ever where my last name was spelled correctly in the intro. It only took us about a year, but that's the kind of progress we're making here, and we are damn proud of it. Gentlemen, Chase, Adam, how are we doing this evening?
Last name adjustments means progress. 26
right.
times 2, because every other week, that's 52. Are we coming up on a 1 year anniversary, right? I don't know about anniversary.
We are doggone close.
Yeah, it's actually, let's get to that time of year where we might need to check in with a few of our guests that we had on a year ago.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be doing that tonight when we have our special guest. It's no secret, Mr. RJ Simon on later here tonight. And he's got a little bit something special going on in the pulling community that we get to touch on, and we are looking forward to that. But speaking of special guests, our last episode, we all got a chance to basically meet Mr. Craig Dickey for the first time here on this show. And Craig shared all sorts of stories with us, and one of the stories was how that they actually have a private jet, for lack of better terms. And Chase last time was so stupid to ask the question that, do they actually drink beer on that plane after he said that they have a hired pilot? And I got this picture a couple days after Craig was on the show, and I think it's pretty awesome that Mr. Craig is killing some Busch Lights out of a styrofoam cooler on the private jet. How awesome is that?
What's
Adam,
more American than that? Busch Light on a private jet, right?
What is more American than that? And I believe you guys even had a chance to meet him at the Inderly and hang out with him, but we'll talk more on that later. Chase, you were mentioning you heard a story about Mr. Craig as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and once again, thanks for bringing me back to the No Practice Podcast for the 26th episode. It's quite the honor to be with you guys.
Yeah, it's good to have you, Chase.
We're here to grow the greatest motorsport on earth and tell stories. I think our audience and our guests have kind of solidified that for us, and it's like a snowball effect as we go, and there's nothing more of an honor than that. But we always talk about the fun and sometimes silly stuff and the stuff that stands out, but there are people a lot of times behind the scenes that bring stuff to us, and this was a story, and I was told this in confidence because they said that Craig Dickey and Chris, his father-in-law,
That nobody knows.
we're not wanting attention for this, and this was after our episode. Well, we spoke a few weeks back, and it was an extremely unfortunate situation, and one that we don't ever want to talk about. Situations where there's injury and pain and things that really affect people. But the Shad Diesel event and the accident that took place, well, probably documented. There's injured people and so forth. Well, after I think 3 or 4 weeks in the hospital, and again, do not quote me on this on the details, but after 3 or 4 weeks in the hospital, one of the people that was affected by that incident was in a situation where they could return home a few states away, but we're not able to stay away from care for for a long amount of time to get in a car. And long story short, Chris sent his jet to pick these people up. And, Chris and Craig, I don't think we're even pulling at that event, but being the ambassadors and people they sent a jet to these people they did not know, gave them a free flight to their home a few states away, and they were able to leave the hospital. So I say that in I'm a long-winded version of this is a very special sport. These are very special people, and this is stuff you don't hear about. But guys who you see winning championships and being successful in business, they also offer up amazing things for people. And shout out to Chris and Craig for doing that. They probably don't want any credit, but that's a badass story that I don't care who you are, what you're doing, you would feel good about. So
Yeah, they'll probably be upset when they hear that you shared that, which is why I'm glad that you shared that, because if anybody's going to get in trouble because of this show, it should always be Chase. Isn't that right, Adam?
That's right. I think if any flack comes from this show in particular or any other shows, I think we're going to set up a voicemail. We're going to put Chase's number out there. Just call him and express whatever you want to express. It's going to be a good thing, I do believe. Yeah, that's a great story. Just so everybody knows, not everybody in the pulling world has a private jet. There's only a couple that I know of, so it's pretty awesome that they're able to offer up those services for people in need to get home. But don't expect to call me looking for a jet. The only thing that I have jet is maybe a
fuel nozzle,
motorhome, or a dually or something we can maybe transport in. So no jets.
But
here.
You do have other things to offer people, though, Adam, because I believe it was last show you threw out there. If you want cold beer, we've always got cold beer at my trailer. And with Craig being on last time, being from the diesel four-wheel drive class, I believe there was a few people from that class that were listening, and I heard a couple of them took you up on that at the Enderley.
Yeah, it was a pretty the Enderley's a special event, just because it's kind of the end of the year deal, and everybody knows it is, right? So of course, we pulled in there and kind of got all set up, and we're on this kick of burning methanol. So kind of got the pans out, started burning some methanol and stuff. I have a really nice speaker that CJ Grozik bought me. So nice of him to get that for me, and I set it up. And
it's a story for another show, by the way.
I started playing some music, and lo and behold, it's like the raccoons are coming to look for trash, and some people showed up, and we started having a pretty good time. And I think between like Craig Dickey and some of his friends, and I think it was mostly the Funkin' Groovin' dudes, diesel four-wheel drive guys. They're like, "Oh, so you always got free beer, huh? Or cold beer?" I said, "Yeah, just."
Listen to your podcast. Heard you.
Yeah, heard you're offering up beer at any time, and said, "Okay, well, make yourself at home." I don't know. We brought. Now you got to remember, it was me, Toby, and Rick, my buddy Rick. Three of us. Toby really doesn't drink much beer. He's more on the foo drinks of he really likes those
moonshine. He likes
the Smirnoff Ice. Where we usually joke people and ice them and stuff. He's into those and whatnot. But me and Rick, I don't know. It's kind of amazing that Rick kind of packed the cooler, brought like 5 or 6 30-packs, and
those are good numbers.
Yeah, woke up Saturday morning there, and
from people. Give me an interruption for this. The comments I see coming in from people that are there are telling a story in itself. So I don't know if you want to comment on this further, but this podcast nonetheless facilitate a great evening at the end of the pull-off, right?
Yeah. It was pretty epic, I would say. The guys did not disappoint. They definitely took me up on my offer. I think woke up the next day when I finally did wake up, and we went out and looked in the cooler, and I don't even think there was one Busch Light left in there. So I think they mowed down about 5 or 6 30-packs.
Did you get a picture of the I think I saw something on Snapchat, what do they call it whenever there's a natural disaster come through? And I know
I did.
This is a natural disaster, but there's a word I'm looking for.
Either the photo was blurry or my eyes were, because the
could have been both. There's always both.
Could have been both. There was some beer cans laying everywhere. We were still burning methanol. I went to bed at one point in time. Will not tell you what time I went to bed, but I did go to bed. And
we're going to need to know the time, Adam.
The sun was up.
Okay. That's perhaps enough.
Yeah. So, and let's say the cops got called on us. Not my fault. Somebody hijacked.
Whoa. Hey.
You really buried the lead on that. The cops got called on you?
Okay, well, let's say this.
You can't start a story without all details, so back up again.
Okay, let's say earlier in the night, say 3 o'clock or so.
Theoretically, yeah.
Cop comes rolling by, and I yelled, "Hey!" And he slams on the brakes and backs up in his little Ford Explorer. And being that I'm in control of the speaker most of the time, I start playing the the Bad Boy song. It really gets the cops going every time.
As one would do, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they had a shift going. That guy left, and an hour or so later, another cop came through. I got him with the same thing. He was really jumped up about it. Well, needless to say, the third time the cops stopped by, I wasn't outside or in control of the speaker. Apparently, somebody hijacked that speaker and maybe cranked it up about 7:30 in the morning. And the campers, not the pullers, the campers called the cops on us. So,
you know what I'd like to think happened.
I gotta share this story, Tyler. So, me being the innocent, responsible person I am, and I'm not innocent, but I go to bed at a decent time sometimes.
Is that what you call bed?
I was out for my morning walk around 7:38 the next morning, and it was an older competitor that walked by me and said, "Hey, good morning," and they stopped in the tracks. And like normally when you walk by people and you're running or whatever, they give you one of these. When they stop, you gotta stop. She said, "Your podcast buddy's having a good time over there." I'm like, "What do you mean? You not hear that boom boom in the background here? Like the Bad Boys, boom boom. We ain't go and no.
No. This ain't no P Diddy party, buddy. I don't know what song you were listening
I hope
to.
not. I've heard bad things.
When I say Bad Boys, everybody knows the theme to cops.
That was this.
Right?
That was the song. The P Diddy song was on when they stopped me.
That's bad timing. Adam's sponsored by Shell, not Johnson and Johnson.
I said, you know what? I can't control what he does, but I know he's here to grow the sport. See you later on, and kept walking. So
yeah. No, I think it was maybe some people from UD Motorsports that maybe hijacked that speaker. At that point in time, I was sleeping. And was informed about this later when I woke up, and was informed that the campers actually called the cops on us. But they were really nice from what they said. They just
probably that old couple on my morning walk. Called the cops whenever they said,
I'm sorry.
Your podcast buddy over there is having a good time. I'm like, he's here to grow the sport.
Yeah. Well, we play hard. We're competitive. We play hard, and we party harder. So
yeah. So Tyler, how was your weekend? I hear you keep up the winning ways.
Well, first, I'd just like to come up with a theory here that I think Adam Kester rolled into bed at, let's just say 3 or 4 in the morning. And I think the radio got left on. And I think Ken Venny was early to rise at about 7 o'clock. And I'd like to think he walked over to Adam's trailer and cranked up the speaker to return the favor from the previous evening and try to give Adam a poor night's sleep because of what Adam did.
He was playing the P. Diddy song, and we ain't going nowhere because he did it.
You know what? I hate to say this. We were parked next to some really good friends of ours. Bicycles were parked next to us, which we're still trying to figure out how the regional competitors picked in the Grand National pits, whatever. But parked next to them was our buddy Bill Voorhees, and
he parties.
Hope he was out there for a while. He was enjoying the music. We were talking, everything was going good.
You did music. We ain't going nowhere.
We're getting Bill on the show at some point.
Chase, is that your ringtone or something? I don't know where you keep coming up with this song.
I kept hearing that all the words of that song. This is a song all night. Sorry, I won't say it again.
No, it wasn't that. It was CJ's favorite song in the world from Trick Daddy. Trick loved the kids, and CJ loves the kids. So we had a good time. That's all that mattered. We had a good time. Maybe didn't get the finish that we wanted.
You know who did? Ken Venny. He beat you guys twice. What the hell? For those that didn't watch it on Full Pull Live like I did, Ken Venny was first hook, and he goes out there. What did he go? 361.
Yep,
I think so.
And he decides to drop his run to the end of the class. So he watches everybody, the other 4 competitors, go out there and go less than what his first distance is. Meaning, if he would have kept his first distance, he would have won the pull. Right. Turns out it didn't matter because he came back last in the class, and he still won the pull.
Barely.
Barely, but he still did.
He's sticking in our face.
Yeah, after watching that, I was like, I can't wait to give the boys shit.
Well, I didn't
once, but twice.
I didn't tell you this when we were standing in line. Maybe Chase heard this. We were standing there in line getting ready to intro, and Ken goes, Larry Kester told me 2 things when I started pulling these mini rods. He says, the first thing he told me is like, Ken, you come from drag racing, you won a lot of races. Now that you're pulling these mini rods, you're not going to win as much as you think you are. And the second thing he told me is, if you're first hook and you make a good pass, make sure you always keep it. And being the instigator I am, I said, well, that's true. I agree with you. But I did drop my hook at Chapel Hill and I came back at last and won the class. And I think that maybe got the gears turning in his head.
Ooh, did you tell him that at the Enderley?
I sure did. Absolutely did.
Oh, you messed with him.
I think I did. I think I got in his head a little bit. But he knows how competitive we all are, and he felt he didn't make the best pass, so he dropped it. And he come back with the tires completely shredded because they were tore up and still laid down a pretty good run. But
still got the job done. Kudos to him and congratulations to Ken and all of the Enderley winners for taking home a first place.
Great event. Weather was the best weather for pulling ever. It was a great weekend, even with the 8 a.m. P. Diddy wake-up calls.
It's bad timing on that artist. And speaking of almost dropping your test hook, you guys referenced how Dragway 42 was for me. And I have a new beautiful suitcase weight back here as a trophy because I was lucky enough to take home a first place. I think that's my first time taking home 2 first place at 2 Champions Tour events in a row. So better to be lucky than good. I also was test hook and almost dropped my damn run. And if it probably wasn't for being at Hillsborough and turning down a second place finish only to come back and get third and having that eating at me standing at the end of the track, I honestly probably would have dropped that run. I decided to keep it because of that, and it turned out to be good enough for first. So, yeah, we're
good.
Pretty
So I didn't watch the run. Was it not a good run, you don't think?
It just never had that moment where you guys know how it is. Sometimes at 200 foot, you're like, hell yes, this sled isn't ever stopping me. Like sometimes you just have those passes, and it just didn't have that pass at all. So
I never have those in mini rods.
Well, you know, Adam knows what that's like.
I heard it feels good though.
Yeah,
if you run into the sled in reverse, it feels like you're going faster when you're going forward.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you're coming around.
You still have not settled up on that bet.
Speaking of reverse, I believe our backstage guy has a little clip to play.
Sneaky snakes here. Sneaky
snakes.
But in all seriousness, Grant, please don't hurt yourself, or we're gonna feel really bad. Mom, Dad, he's choosing to do this. We're not forcing him. Look at Renee in typical competitive fashion. She's like, hold the ladder up really high.
Hang on, for those of you fans that can't see this, you got Doug in the background.
Yes. Doug's saying no. Renee's giving hot pointers on how to do better.
True teamwork.
All right, sir. Take it away. What do you got in here? 1, 2. He's working. He made it to the third step, so that's a tie. 1. Oh, look at that! Oh, what a guy!
Theobalds are undefeated on this podcast.
He skips the steps.
Beautiful. We didn't show him the rules.
Well done. All I do is win.
I got to take off in reverse.
I love it.
Jason's
taking off in reverse.
And a 2-wheel drive.
Like a 2-wheel drive. Yes, sir.
I'm going to do it in a 2-wheel drive.
And we heard it there from Mr. Chase Richardson himself. If you guys weren't at Bowling Green and didn't watch it, that was a little clip from our live show at Bowling Green. If you were confused on what on earth Grant Theobald was doing, we like to play little games at our live shows and involve some fans as well as some competitors. And the challenge was who could climb up the ladder higher without it actually leaning or anchored against anything. And we saw Grant there reach the number of steps that got him the victory, as the Theobalds are undefeated on the No Practice podcast. And Chase opened his mouth and said he would back into the sled, and he hasn't done that yet. Chase, questions, comments, thoughts, ideas?
I would say you all are to blame for letting this slide this long. So I guess the next time I pull, I will take off in reverse.
When will the next time be?
When
will the next time be?
This Saturday on Full Pull Live, Woodbury, Tennessee. The FFA Nationals, Wesley Foster and his family promoting the pool. It's on Full Pull Live. Tune in. I will take off in reverse. I promise you this.
And we don't want one of these, just baby. I want you hitting the fucking sled.
No, first off, it's not my truck. And secondly, it does have pads. So, at what level do I need to whack it or just ease into it?
To be clear, we need the chain tight, and at that point, you need to start getting into the throttle, back up into it, and then come back forward and get the chain tight, and then
I don't have to go to any degree of fucking aggression. Just like as slow as you tighten the chain, just slow taking off.
Yeah.
And then look at everyone in the venue who doesn't want watch this podcast. And
The sled needs to be hit. Period.
This truck won the Grand National title.
Here's your Grand National Championship winner and your Inderley winner, Mr. Chase Richardson. Boom, backs up into the sled. But they're already going to be pretty underwhelmed when you're out on the track because it'll probably take you like 10 minutes to back up to the sled, as we've seen before. So.
Hey, it's undefeated championships as far as I'm concerned. But no, I was not aware. I'm sorry. I had a lot to drink that day, and I forgot about that bet. I always own it my bets, so we will take off in reverse. The next time it runs, which is this Saturday on Full Pull Live, if you do not believe what we're saying, tune in. You can watch it. And there was no promises made on how hard it's going to whack the back of the truck. So,
can't wait. Hopefully Brian doesn't get too mad.
Brian's not watching this podcast. And
hopefully not. I'm sure his daughter, A. McD, won't tell him at all. So you're probably in good shape there. Before we move on to our Man, I Wish There Was Practice segment, I believe we have to have a quick little PSA, public service announcement for quite a few pullers out there. Gentlemen, do you feel this is appropriate or should we skip it?
Well, hang on. Didn't you have a parking story from Dragway 42 we need to get into?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, Jeff Hurt ended up winning the Mini Rod Points Championship, and Jeff Hodem ended up winning the Unlimited Super Championship. And if anybody's partied with either one of those two, you know how good of a time they can be. And I mean, their trailer was the place to be. I think it was Lisa Jostock brought over a whole gallon of pre-mixed shots. We had Tim Ray over there. I mean, we had the whole group. We were working our way through that gallon. We were trying to do donuts on golf carts and whatnot. It was a great time. And if anybody's familiar with mini beers, it's Liquor 43 with a little bit of like half and half or whipping cream on top. And we were getting so into those shots that at one point I looked over, and I think it was around 3 or 4 in the morning. Jeff Hurt and Jeff Hodem had ran out of Liquor 43. So they were just pouring heavy whipping cream into shot glasses and cheersing and just drinking that down. And that I found that pretty hilarious personally. But Dragway 42, pretty sweet place. They've got a pulling track, and then they've got a sweet drag strip on the other side. And the Friday before the pull, they were running drag races on the pulling track, like dirt drags, and then they were running test and tune on the drag strip. I watched a guy with a Hayabusa run through the quarter-mile traps, running an 8.75 at like 180 miles an hour, and then he laid the bike down. I've never seen something like that. So I don't know who the guy was.
Did he make it to the tractor pull Saturday?
What's that?
Was he spectating the tractor pull Saturday, or he didn't make it?
I don't know if he was or not. I would imagine he was in pretty rough shape. So shout out to that guy and his family. I hope everything's doing well. But yeah, pretty cool place. You can see some pretty wild stuff there. Should we get into our PSA?
Yeah, PSA. Sorry about that. Sorry to interrupt your show, Tyler.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chase. I don't mean to be driving it here. I'll let you take the wheel, Chase. Go ahead.
As I was told, this show wouldn't be shit without you, and I said I agree.
No, I disagree. I just don't know how to shut up. It's the Woodford really that does it for me. I don't know how to be quiet.
I'm glad you got to back to drinking that after one of our episodes. I don't think you touched it for about 6 months, did you?
The Russ Hildebrand episode was a little rough. If you guys like the show, but you've skipped the Russ Hildebrand episode, give it a listen. You'll understand why I laid off the Woodford for a while.
Yeah, it's a good time to say we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. The next episode, we're going to try to do some cool shit to commemorate our 1-year anniversary. But it's hard to believe this is actually where it is now in terms of we're going to get to the RJ here later. But like we actually feel pretty good about what we've done. Our goal was to have fun, grow the sport, and try to exercise some voices that we wanted to be heard in the sport of pulling, and I'd say we're well on our way. So next episode, we're going to add some fun shit. Adam mentioned earlier where you can have a hotline to call in. We're working on some details, but I think the hotline segment will be an added feature to the No Practice podcast. Stay tuned. Tune into episode 27, but shout out to that. Go to the PSA. I'm sorry I cut you off again on your show, Tyler.
Adam, I've been flapping my mouth too much. Why don't you take the wheel on the PSA here?
What did the PSA happen at the Enderley?
No.
I don't think you know. I don't think you know.
I don't think I know.
Okay, Adam, I'm going to give you one hint, and then you're going to take the ball and run with it.
Okay.
One word here. I think it's one word. FaceTime.
Oh, okay. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
So, what day was that?
It doesn't even matter.
I think it was last Tuesday.
Who drinks on a Tuesday?
I don't know. Apparently, a lot of people did. So, anyways, I hadn't talked to my buddy CJ in a while, so I rang up the phone, and CJ's the type of guy, he just don't like to talk on the phone. He wants to FaceTime. So we were talking on the phone for probably, I don't know, hour and a half or so. Then all of a sudden we're like, we need to call a few people. So I think we rang up Grace and Adam Bauer. I think we called Chase. We called Jason Schultz. And then, it was pretty calm up until then. And then Jason Schultz just starts calling all these other people. And I don't know. He was calling anybody you can think of. I think he called like Cody Singletary. I think he called, Jeff Hurt. And Jeff, it was really late at night. Jeff probably wasn't too happy about that. I don't know. At one point in time, there may have been 25 people on this FaceTime. So
it's just a FaceTime of all these pullers.
It's a glitch.
Yeah, I believe I was the third person to join. So when I joined, it was just Adam and CJ, and I'm
That's
in the
right.
middle of
Tyler gets in there.
I was in the middle of pulling off a truck bed, so you guys got to hang out for that. Or that might have been a different puller FaceTime. We FaceTime a lot.
So if anyone wants to pull pranks on their friends, we have the recipe and like the path, the blueprint to do it. So
no, it was epic. I mean, I'm sitting here with my buddies. They start showing up. I got my buddy Tyler, Rick, Rodney. These guys are sitting here. Rodney's girls are here.
This could go viral right here because people.
Yeah, we were drinking a couple beers. Just pretty calm on a Tuesday night, and then it turns into like a, I don't know, 25-person FaceTime, which was epic. I mean, it was absolutely.
Though. This is the catch, Adam. Give me an interruption because this is the catch. There's 4 people on there, and every time you try to add someone into it, they get added to this group, and then all of a sudden you have 20 people who never answer this FaceTime and 4 people talking. So you have, like, without even answering your phone, you're in this group, and then whenever you decide to call someone else,
it rings everybody.
So the problem is, days later, a puller, and we don't even know who it would be. Let's say a random person that got FaceTimed that night, even though they didn't join the call, if they try to call that missed call back, there's like 20 some pullers around the country.
Slaw called you, and you call back, and it calls all 25.
Like if I were to pull out my phone right now and click on it, Adam and Chase's phones would both ring as if a FaceTime call is coming in. But it's not going to be my name that pops up on the screen. It's going to be any random name from that group. So I could click on Chase Richardson and try to call him in this group via FaceTime. 20 people get a call, and it's random whose name is popping up.
So meanwhile, about it all on a Tuesday night, in an average night in America, most guys are asleep. Like, there was 5 people in this FaceTime call, and I was one of the 5 that answered. The other 25 people didn't answer like civilized people do.
Look at the comment. We see Robbie Fagundes. I thought that was a butt dial. So Robbie was included in that. So Robbie knows what we're
I mentioned Robbie because it was getting pretty late, and I'm like, who's up on the West Coast?
Yeah, we got a California guy.
Somebody brought his name up. Chase.
So there's an employee that works for my dad. The next day said, "Them drunk mother effers, they were calling me all night. There was 25 of them calling me." There was nobody.
It must have been Donald, because we tried to call Donald, I do believe.
Anyway,
it wasn't me, because the funny thing was we're doing this FaceTime, and Chase's screen's black the entire time. He would never show his face. He's laying in bed. He said, right?
He didn't want us to know who was next.
He's like, Jason Schultz is in my couch. So like, let's call Jason. So we called Jason up. He answers it right away. He's up on the couch. Jason gets this wild idea to start
ringing right now. It's ringing right now. Look.
Oh no! So there's 20 people getting a call right now.
There's somebody out there calling right now, watching this podcast.
Show us what it looks like. Show us what it looks like.
Cody Singletary called me. I don't know who.
They're calling right now. It's on our fucking.
So
So Schultz gets this wild idea. Schultz gets this wild idea to start calling all these people, and all of a sudden,
mine said Jason Schultz.
I'm telling you, it was Schultz the whole time. Look, I'm getting the FaceTime right now.
No, the next day, this next Wednesday, I gotta be honest. We're nothing but honesty and truth in this show. The next day, I have these people call me like, "What was going on last night? 11:30? Why this FaceTime?" And I'm on a group chat with my buddies here, and they're like, "Just blame it all on Schultz." I said, "That effing Schultz, you can't control him, so he took all the blame for all this." So.
But in all honesty, I don't know that we can blame Jason Schultz because he was added to.
No, you always blame Schultz. He screws everything up. It's
okay.
Always
Sorry, Jason. Jason, yeah. I tried. I know we're buddies.
Polling used to be good till he got involved. PSA. Be on alert. If you want to prank your friends, get a fun group FaceTime going, and then everyone will be upside down. But you got to get like at least 20 people involved in it.
Minimum,
right?
Minimum 20. Yeah, for sure.
It may have been the funniest FaceTime I've ever been on. It was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, being on that till after midnight and then waking up at 5 a.m. the next day wasn't great. But I regret nothing.
But I think we made some people's lives better because they know how to mess with their friends now for fun.
Yeah, it's really
nobody knows who's calling ever.
It's kind of a glitch with the iPhone Android system as far as how.
See, my wife just sent me a text message. She's like, "Who's calling?" Because she was on there too.
Yeah, see, so she was one of the people that got.
Jason Schultz did it.
Yeah,
Schultz did it.
Oh, we could bring
up. That damn Schultz. My dad just texted me and said Cody Singletary just did it to me. It just throws anybody in the mix and nobody.
That's who called it. Cody Singletary called me, so that's what's funny.
I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, we just enlighten the world. Polling fans, non-polling fans. How do you have friends or your friends? So get a big group FaceTime calling, and everyone will be scratching their head for days to come.
God.
And if you're
maybe don't do it at midnight. Possibly.
No, I think the best part of it is like 6 a.m. some mornings. Like, here we go again. Jason Schultz.
But they were.
Evan Schultz.
All right. Should we get into our next segment?
Yeah, our next segment. Of course, we got the highlight of this show. This will be our biggest show ever because RJ Simon, what they're doing.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I think
we're going one thing at a time, but we have to get. I just got another one said Billy Bears, Brandon Phillips, just FaceTime, and these guys never. All right, I'm sorry. I get the giggles.
What have we done?
Man, I wish there was practice. A staple of the No Practice podcast. As you all were aware when you tuned into Full Pull Live a couple of weeks ago, our friend Travis Schlaubaugh, multi-time Grand National champion, had a little episode. Friend of the podcast where I think it may have been the day session Saturday at Sandwich where his tractor did not cooperate with him. So we're going to call Mr. Travis up, talk through his situation, and show the video to everybody. I just got to make sure I don't hit this FaceTime call because that could get complicated.
Don't do that.
So maybe Travis, the smart move is not have an iPhone.
Yeah, that probably was good because I don't think we called them.
Travis. Hey, how you doing, City Councilman?
Good.
Hey, this is
Chase. Speakerphone, Chase.
Sitting outside.
This is Chase Richardson with the No Practice Podcast. Have you ever heard of us?
Yeah, I've heard of you.
Can you guys hear Travis okay on here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, Travis.
Get him a little closer to your mic if you can.
All right. Sorry, I'm getting yelled at by my co-host. Travis, congratulations on making it through another polling season or almost making it to the end. You missed the last hook of the year, unfortunately, because of an incident that happened at Sandwich session, I guess 2 or the first session of the day, where your tractor kind of let go. And a big segment of the No Practice podcast is always talking about, man, I wish there was practice. So you're online right now. There's thousands of viewers watching currently. Can you kind of take us through what actually happened as the fans are watching live?
So if you go down there, we've been struggling all year just getting consistency out of that tractor. And hard to believe, but we're actually trying to detune that thing That come out with a brand new turbo setup in Louisville last year, and it run good. It run really good. We just knew it couldn't live at them settings. So we fought gremlins all year, and really, finally, at the end of the year, we actually tore up the injection pump there out in Bowling Green and missed the second event at Bowling Green. And so kind of thought, you know what? I think we got this. We found our gremlin, got that figured out. We changed up a couple things, and everything was good. Got the injection pump back on for Sandwich. We're going to go down there and just make some laps and get some good data.
Some conservative runs, right? Is what you get them on?
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
As the fans are watching right now, they see conservative all about what you're saying right now. So carry on.
Yeah, I mean, conservative is such a hard deal, but what we've been trying to do is dial the boost back. We've been trying to take boost away, and what we were having the trouble is when we took it away, it all went away, and when we tried to bring a little bit of it back, it was out of control and it went clear over the top again. So we felt really good going in. We were just, let's make 2 more hooks, and then we got all winter to work on this thing. We don't dyno that motor or nothing like that. We do everything on track, but
yes, it'd be hard to dyno the motor we just saw run.
Yeah. So, but we took off. I was very happy going down the track. It took off naturally. Sandwich, Illinois. That track always wants to take me left. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm going left. And so I was kind of keeping my eye on that. And the front end was in the air 2 or 3 foot. And the next thing, the huge explosion happened. And, of course, I dropped the front end. I remember bouncing my head off the cage a couple rounds, and something stuck me in the right side and, shook my head. And when the smoke cleared there a little bit, I looked down and see this great big chunk of metal. And I thought, man, I windowed the block. And I mean, I did it good. I got me a big window in there.
I got a souvenir.
And then I seen it was like this all happened so fast, and I was like, well, shoot, that's aluminum. Oh my God, we just destroyed the clutch can. And of course, in the rules, everything, we're all having this conversation about aluminum clutch cans, and I'm like, oh, this just made this whole problem worse. And
Perfect timing.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, what are we going to do now? How am I going to explain this and back up the aluminum clutch can conversation? And so I jump off the tractor, and as I got off, I kind of looked over, and I got 3 injection lines just hanging completely off. And I'm like, I'll bet them didn't unthread themselves. So I get off and look, and I'm like, oh, shit, it's just the intake manifold.
It's just the intake manifold.
We're good. We're good. This is a good problem to have. And then I got to look, and the stainless, it sheared the delivery valves right off the top of the pump on the last 4, 5, and 6 cylinders. I mean, it just destroyed that pump. Had 12 seconds.
Brand new pump.
So yeah, brand new, just out of the shop. God dang. So, but in the end, that's all it did. It didn't. A lot of people say, well, you blew your intake off. I didn't actually blow the intake manifold off. All of the bolts are still in the head.
Yeah, it was definitely that tractor's fault, not your fault.
Yeah. So, but it blew the center section of it out is what it actually did. It just fatigue, and it actually, you could tell kind of it blew out at the bottom where there was 2 bolt holes and whatever. And that manifold was, I want to say 4 or 5, maybe 6 years old, but it always had it. It was a Hypermax manifold, and everything under the hood has been 100% Hypermax from top to bottom. I think everybody that knows me is pretty diehard Hypermax. And it was a cast aluminum intake manifold is what it was. It was not billet. So got done and talked to Profab Larry and said, go ahead and get me a billet one. And I think he sold 4 of them
already
Saturday afternoon. Because anybody else that had that manifold's like, Larry, go ahead and build me one of them billet ones. So, but yeah.
Did a number on the sheet metal, didn't it?
Yeah. The I rattled around. If you actually watch me in slow motion, I rattled around in there pretty good. I probably should have had my seatbelts a little bit tighter, but I think we all get complacent. We leave them a little loose.
Yeah, you never drove me, Rod Travis.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, yeah, but now, I mean, and I don't know what happened. We actually have not torn apart yet. I've been busier than heck. And the other question we have is, did we have an intake valve that hung open just a little bit and that cylinder pressure came back out? But by my computer, you know, we were 330 pounds of boost and climbing going down there. And when I say earlier, I said that we're having trouble controlling that. If you actually look at the tractor right before the explosion, my center hood starts dancing. And what that is my wastegate is opening up and it's blowing air on the bottom angle. I could tell that going down the track on the video. You'll see that center hood will start dancing. That's the wastegate opening and blowing air pressure against it. And it was literally, I think, wide open, and we just couldn't waste enough air. It was eating itself up, you know. So, but, you know, I don't know if we didn't have an intake manifold. The running comment, I talked to the Blade Grade boys. They had one, and they had asked Jeff at Hyper, is how much pressure will that hold? And he said, well, it's good to 350 pounds. And I said, well, I would agree with him because my last data reading was 351. So it is good to 350. You just don't want to go over that.
They know their product.
What's that?
I said they know their product quite well, don't they?
That's right. That's right. So, but yeah, we need to get a hold of that thing. We got to get that thing dialed down. And it's hard to believe. A lot of fans don't understand when I say we're dialing it down, but we're trying to build some longevity back into that motor program.
Right. So what's the plan for a return? I assume hopefully dialed in and try to pull again at the Farm Machinery Show in February?
Yeah. Our goal is Farm Machinery Show. We're going just the week of Sandwich. I'd made some decisions. The sheet metal was getting rough. You know, it needed some touch up. It needed some loving. And I was like, you know what? I think we're gonna repaint the hoods. We're gonna redo it. We're gonna make the hoods a little bit longer just to give us a little more room underneath the hood. The chassis going a little back to talk to Engler a year or so ago. He's got me a spot. We're going to put some spring right front end. We're going to change a bunch of stuff going into the Farm Machinery Show. So we'll go in there. We do our best work. We go in there blind and we don't know what we're doing. So we'll be going to the Farm Machinery Show if we get accepted going blind.
So basically your tractor told you it needed a makeover. Yep. And you're like, you were thinking in your head, but it basically came and bitch slapped you in the face and said, hey, I need some help. And you're going to do it for it.
Yeah, as the side shield was wadded up in a U shape and stuck on the side, I'm like, yeah, I think we'll rebuild the sheet metal now.
That's good stuff.
So, but we're gonna do some work on that, get some stuff rebuilt, and do some tidy up. That thing's hard to believe. I think 12 or 13 years I've had that tractor. So,
I'd say you got your money's worth out of it. She's been a nice piece.
Yep. No, we're just gonna give it a makeover and see what she comes out like, and kind of see if we can fine tune a little things and stuff. So, yeah.
Good stuff. Well, Travis, appreciate you coming on again in the No Practice Podcast.
Appreciate what you guys do. We enjoy listening to you every once in a while.
Every once in a while, not all the time, though, right?
Well, sometimes my meetings run a little long at the city council meeting.
So explain why we got you. So whenever I reached out to Travis, he said, when I get done my city council meeting, so now that you've already put the cat in the bag, you are also a politician?
Yeah, I'm 100% a politician. I'm on our local city council. And
do you have signs that say vote for Travis Schlaubaugh?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Can we get one of those to a tractor? Can we get one of those to a tractor pull and put them in the pits?
Yeah, I think I do have one. So you know what? I'll try to bring that along with me sometime, Chase. We'll get that put up there, hung from the ceiling there.
What's your political what's your go-to vote for Chains, vote for Travis, or like vote for a tractor puller, I'll blow your shit up, or like what's your go-to line?
You know, being in a small town, they already all hate me anyway. So it's
Well, you were the guy who said you're pretty conservative going to Sandwich, so
I think it's called vote for me, or your air conditioner or heater won't get fixed whenever you need repaired.
Well, this is
I'm on the fire department too, so I got a little bit of pull there also.
this show
The
also.
fire trick won't work.
Your interview also led with you. You went to Sandwich being conservative, so anyone that knows Poland that watched that video and thinks you're conservative, hopefully your political views can back up what you say, because that didn't look conservative. We don't talk about politics in this show, though.
He's radical. He's radical.
On the conservative side.
Yeah. We're here to grow pool and not talk politics, but we know common sense. So, Travis, thanks for coming on the No Practice Podcast. We love you. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you again. Good luck to you and your wife on your new tractor build, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
See you, buddy. Thanks. He's a
He's
politician.
an absolute animal.
There's a lot of politicians in polling. I didn't realize that. Vote Travis Schlabach City Council. That could be a bumper sticker. So, thank you to Travis for that shout out. That was also obviously a video that went viral, and you never like to see somebody break stuff. And Travis is our buddy, so we heckle him a little bit. But obviously, you can see he's making changes and improvements, and you'll see him back on the track here soon. So, thank you again for him to coming on. But I think it's almost drum roll time. I mean, the biggest poll and the biggest person in the history of polling is taking place courtesy of our good friend RJ Simon. And our first repeat guest ever on the No Practice Podcast is taking place right now when you're into it. RJ Simon, the light modified super semi NTPA champion, also his brother PPL modified champion, right, Adam?
Correct.
With 4 MBRs. Special guest at podcast. And for those of you that don't know, if you live under a rock, recent promoter of the biggest purse payout in the history of pulling. So on behalf of my buddies here, we want to welcome on our guest, Mr. RJ Simon, 300 Raceway. RJ, thanks for coming on. How does it feel to be the first repeat guest in the history of the biggest podcast of pulling?
Well, it feels great. You know, I'll do anything for the right amount of money, and for what you guys are paying me, it's all good, you know?
Absolutely.
Anything can be bought. RJ, thanks for coming on. It's no secret. We probably downplay a little bit. The biggest buzz in pulling the last couple of weeks has been your upcoming event and what you're trying to do. Let's just dive into it.
Yeah, it's me and Brandon have been talking about this for years, and we want to bring money to the sport, you know, and it all kind of stemmed from, well, I was out pulling in Canton, Ohio with the pro stocks, and Brandon's back here and with his stock car, and he put a hot shoe Ricky Thornton Jr. in it and won $100,000 to win with a stock car. So how that kind of all played out is it was the stock car guys put an entry fee in, and that's how they got the $100,000. So I thought, why can't we do this with pulling? I'm out in Ohio pulling a pro stock, missing this awesome race, and I'm thinking to myself, I want that for pulling. Let's just do it. So that's what we did.
So this occurred at your track there, the 300 Raceway, right? When this
correct?
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
correct.
And probably it's fair to say, and I'm not knocking any type of other motorsport, but there's as many people at a tractor pull as there were at that race, right? Like just in the stands.
Yeah, I mean at Bowling Green, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, it was a packed house. It was awesome, and
it's your one big event for the year, right?
Yeah, it's called the Yankee Dirt Track Classic, and what we found out is people want to watch people win something that is life changing. So what I thought about is doing this, and even Adam, I called Adam. Me and Adam are great friends. Obviously, he builds our engines, and I called him, and even Adam tried talking me down. You don't need to do 50,000. You can do less. You don't need to do that. It's too much. But you need a number that's life changing. You know, I mean, if Tyler Slaw wins 50,000, we know that Bruce ain't going to get that. So
we know that, Tyler's definitely going to add on to his shot on Monday.
Yeah. $50,000 definitely would change my life. But if I take home the win, all I'm going to get to keep is the check that isn't worth anything. But Bruce pays the bills, so that's quite all right with me.
What a back!
I tell you what, as good as farming is for Bruce, I don't know why he wouldn't just give it to you. I don't get it. But
just printing dollars. Let me tell you.
Well, yeah, but for sure, and that's what I want. I wanted this to be different. Brandon and I put a lot of thought in this, and I talked to a lot of pullers. I've been talking about this. Me and Adam Chase, we've had talks about this. And before I kind of rolled this out, Chase called me one day. I told him about it. He's like, yeah. We need to do this. We need to do this. And I think in Chase's mind, he was thinking, well, maybe the following year. He's like, next thing you know, 2 days later, it's like on the internet. He's like, what the hell?
After you broke my Wi-Fi, yeah. I was like, damn, I didn't know he was doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, it was. So what we just were like, you know what? We're done talking about this. We're just going to do it. So Brandon and I put our heads together, my brother-in-laws, and we're like, let's just go at it. And let's start with these 5 classes, and $50,000 to win. Everyone, we're going to have 50 entries maximum. We could have less. If there's only 35, 40, we're rolling with this thing. We're not going to sit here and say, oh, we don't have 50 entries, so sorry, this is over with. We're rocking and rolling. And this thing's going to happen one way or the other, and we're super excited about it. And right now we've got 2 full classes. Pro stocks are full. 4-1s is full. Actually, mini rods is up to 18 tractors right at the moment. Just gained another one here quick before we started this, and there's like 23 4-wheel drives and like 23 2-wheelers, something like that, right in there. So we're darn near halfway with them. I'm pretty. There's I can count a lot of pullers that are missing. My biggest thing is, and I don't mean to just keep talking here, not letting you guys ask questions.
Hang on.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Podcast, but you are the guest. You do what you want moving forward.
Okay. So, we want you pullers, if you're listening out there, which I know there's millions of people watching and listening. So Chase is laughing. Look at him. Look at that grin. Everyone, we need you pullers. If you're interested in this and you like this idea and you think, well, I'll just wait until the end and I'll get in at the end. We want to get these classes filled or close to it so we can have your emails, because I don't want to be asking questions on my Facebook page, getting the wrong answers from people that, sorry to say it, but don't have any skin in the game. I want to literally send an email to 45 or 50 competitors, whatever the number is, say in the mini rod class, and say, all right, guys, we now have 50 mini rods entered. Okay. It only took 42 mini rods to pay for our purse. We have an extra $20,000 of money. Where I'm going to send out a Survey Monkey, which I don't know if any of you ever had that, but it's probably one of the most easiest things ever created in life. I will literally send it out in an email form. Every puller will be able to just go on there. There'll be options like that $20,000 might say, all right, option A, put it in the prelim night. Okay, that extra money. Option B, or prelim nights. Option B would be put it in the finals night. Option C would be spread it out between however many tractors there is, and that's tow money. And let you pullers decide, because you pullers are ultimately paying the purse of the big show. Us as a promoter we're going to be paying the prelim nights, which is going to be paid a normal purse for PPL, NTPA, Grand National, whatever in that realm, of that purse, somewhere in that, depending what association ends up getting this in the long run. So Tyler, yeah, I know your question's coming. I see it.
Well, I mean, I had
Oh,
reached
hang
out
on,
to
hang on.
RJ and I said,
Give me an interruption, Tyler. I need one for this.
son of a
So
bitch.
you're telling me, as a puller with this Survey Monkey, Mini Rod, if we say we want $10,000 worth of a beer party, a private beer party, like
No, that wasn't was that option A, B, or C? There wasn't a
No,
fucking D there.
that was not on the Survey
we
Monkey.
want a private band and beer in our own party. We can do this.
No, there wasn't a D. There was not a D.
Sorry,
It wasn't, and we can't do an all of above unless Full Pulse or No Practice Podcast is throwing it in there. No, I mean, I don't know. I want the pull. What I'm getting at, what I'm trying to say here is the pullers will have a huge voice in this. Simon's, there was a gentleman that got on this on my Facebook real early when I posted this, and he made the comment, if all you pullers are dumb enough to give all this money in, all you're going to do is buy these guys another pro stock. That really pissed me off. Like,
I don't blame you.
Made me like almost ready to drive wherever this motherfucker was. And
we'll drop it. Oh, this is a family show, RJ.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I didn't.
No, you're
good. It's fine. It's fine.
I thought it said it was. I didn't know. So
I love it. I love it.
We're not looking to make money on this deal. I'd love to break even, but I will almost guarantee you this will be a negative in the long run for us.
Well,
but we're not trying to make money. We want to grow the sport of pulling. That's what we're looking to do. But we need all these. We need to get these classes filled. We have, the pro stock and 4-1 classes, I would have thought were going to be the hardest ones to fill. Those are two classes I thought would be tough. Mini rods, I knew 50 was a stretch, but I thought 40 was going to be like quick. Two-wheel drives, I am absolutely dumbfounded.
We'll get back to them later.
I mean, I'm just like blown away. I realize it's 2,500 is a lot of money. It's not, but is it really a lot of money?
So think about it this way. Think about it this way, RJ. I guess what you need to do is explain to the people or I can do it for them. So you're putting on an event. It's a 3-day show, right? There's a Thursday, a Friday,
yeah, I never got into that. I apologize.
Well, so what I'm getting at is Thursday, Friday, Saturday show.
You didn't even tell us what date it was yet.
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting to the date. Just don't worry about that. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday show. Each puller pays $2,500 per vehicle. If you want to bring 3 vehicles like myself, $7,500 entry fee. Out of that, you're going to run Thursday in a class of 25 or 20, whatever the number allows. If there's 40 in a class, 20 per class. 50 in a class, 25 per class. You take the top half of that class on Thursday, you take the top half of the class on Friday, you combine them into a Saturday night finals, and that is where the $50,000 to win is. Or, for anybody that's not listening, if you sign up for this pull and you commit to being at this pull, RJ is opening a window that has never been opened before, where actually the pullers have input on ideas to make this event better than anything in pulling. Because right now, we all do the same thing. We show up, we pay a per hook, we pay for, we pull for $1,000, $1,200 to win. We have hundreds of thousands of dollars in these vehicles, and we get paid barely enough money to pay for our fuel, if we're lucky. But what the idea of this event is to do is not just to have, I'm not going to show up because I know so-and-so's going to win it and I'm not going to get anything. This is also paying out deeper into the class than it has ever been paid. Even the last hook in the finals is making good money. You actually get your entry fee back. So I guess what people aren't understanding or need to understand that this event is going to be a pullers organized event to where we actually have a voice for once.
I'm gonna ask for a lot of input, and it's gonna come through email because that's the quickest and easiest way to ask for help and to ask for that advice. It's not easy. I can't keep doing it on my personal Facebook and say, because there's too many people that are talking to me that, I'm sorry to say, have no skin in the game. I need to talk to the guys that are really wanting to come there and pull, like you 3 guys, and ask you guys, what do you want? Because all 3 of you might have I just gave you them 3 options. All 3 of you may have a different point of view on which option you want. Well, that's fine. But at the end of the day, we're going to do it's a voting deal. And if 25 of you want option B and, that's the stacked one, that's the option we're going with. I have no vote in it. I'm not in the mini rod class. So those are the options. I'm going to lay the options out there. There could be 5 options. I don't know. I'm just using A, B, and C. And I'm going to be using a lot of input from close friends in each class. I kind of would like to think that between you 3, you're kind of my mini rod go-tos. And, like Dean's been a huge, go-to with the 4-1 class. And, obviously the pro class, my brother's kind of the input there. And the Connie team, we've been asking them, bouncing ideas off them. We're good friends there. And, 4-wheel drives, the Profab group and, the champion, the old outlaw up there, Mark, he's Z-Bag. He's been, giving us a lot of input, and Ben Ellis in that 4-wheel drive too. I mean, there's so many guys that
can make this.
I'm going to for information, because I want this to be the best pull, and I don't want this to be a one-time thing.
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing for me.
Is CJ getting smart?
CJ's a smart ass. He always is.
CJ retired from pulling. You don't have to worry about what the hell he's saying.
You'll never see him again.
This is the thing for me, and I get that. I can probably understand more than anybody that $2,500 is a lot of money. But from a numbers standpoint, if somebody wants to be like, well, that's just not a good investment on that. Like, let's break this down. Let's say theoretically you've got a good running mini rod and you've got $150,000 into it. I realize it could be more, could be less, but I'm going to say there, maybe a little over. So you're going to tie up $150,000 and you're going to go run to maybe win 1,000, sometimes less. If you're lucky, maybe 4,000. Okay. So you're in it to 150,000 to go run for 1,000. If you invest another 2,500, which is basically 1.6% of your initial investment of $150,000, you just grew your purse 50x with a 1.6% increase of investment. So we're all cool with investing $150,000 to go run for 1,000, but you throw another 1.6% on that for the chance of getting a 50x return on what you were cool with before, and nobody wants anything to do with it. That's what blows my mind.
Well, here, I think what blows more minds than anybody is that this is a good idea, right? We're self-funding. We're self-gambling our own money, right?
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. We're self-gambling our own money. And it just blows my mind that people can't catch the concept. But there are things that are kind of been slowing things down. The weekend of the pull. Obviously, Simons have always had the second week in June as their pull, right? Not COVID year out, the year that happened. They've always had that pull for the last, 6 years now? Something like that. And so he's got this pull lined up for this. So people are thinking, well, the schedule's going to come out. If it's on top of another pull, I don't know that if I can go. And here's what I'm going to say, because I thought about this slightly for a little bit. I've been trying since my dad passed away, and years before that. We're trying to win another championship. But let's face it, a championship is X amount of money at the end of the year, which isn't much, in a wooden plaque. I mean, I would love to say, you know what? We're stepping off from the championship this year to win the biggest payout in pulling. And I have 3 chances. I could get first, second, and third, and I could really do good if I do it, right? But I'm not saying I'm going to, but I'm sure going to try.
Well, you're going to the pull.
I get it. Yeah. The schedule, it hasn't been released for either organization yet, and it's playing games with people's minds. So, RJ, kind of tell us about that. You say this is a
minds. They want to
right.
So my thing is, the reason I jumped on this so quick is because this is a whole new concept, guys. Obviously, it scares some of the people. That's why we haven't filled these classes. It's making people a little nervous, maybe. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Maybe they don't know if they can win it. Maybe that's why they're scared. Maybe they're worried, like you said, about the schedule. But the thing is I needed the data to show that the pullers were willing to put this money up to do this pull, because ultimately the 2 prelim nights, the money that me as a promoter I'm putting up, the normal purse, and with the paying for the staff for tech, because we're going to need double the people there for staffing, because we're going to have, tech's going to be different. I'm at a break even already. Okay. So I needed that money to be able to put together this big purse. In years past, it's always been a break even pull for me or a loss every year. So from a promoter side, it's never about making money. It's about, gosh, I hope I just break even. So that's why I needed the pullers to put in the money. And after I did this, Stan Shelton reached out to me. He says, this is exactly how we do it in the pro mod stuff that we're doing. John Strickland, he just chimed in there too.
Just commented, said this has been going on drag racing for years.
Yeah,
they have $1 million purse in pro mod racing. They have $1 million purse in pro mod.
Yeah,
racing.
for those of you that are only in the audio version of this, John's comment was said, and this is John Strickland, it's a great idea. Drag racing has done it for years. There is a $1 million race done the same way. It just takes numbers.
And there's way more people watching tractor pulls than there are these drag races. Like that's always my takeaway. Like I'm not talking like NHRA pro events, no, but like one of these pro mod races that they do at one of these tracks somewhere, like tractor pulling audiences in person shit on them. They really do. So like, why can't we do this?
Right. And that's what I want. And I don't even want this thing to feel like an association, whatever we end up going with. I don't want it to feel like, oh, this is just this kind of event. This is going to be a totally new event. Whoever comes on board with this event, there's going to be so many things that are going to feel different. Number one, parking. Parking's going to be professional. All of your back doors. If Adam Kester rolls in, his rig's like 100 foot, 110 feet, and then all of a sudden Tyler rolls in, his is 90 feet, your back doors are going to be exactly lined up perfect. Your front end you might have a gap, but I'm going to make sure your back doors are perfectly lined up. All you mini rod guys are parked next to each other. All the pro stock guys are going to be parked next to each other. It's all going to be laid out ahead of time, because I know who's coming.
It's not going to be like Bowling Green where the fans show up and they're looking for X puller and they have to travel through the entire pit trying to find him.
Everybody loves a good shot of lined up back doors, RJ. I can appreciate that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it just looks. I want it to be professional. Is what I'm getting at. Like, there's going to be a flag. There's going to be a flag in the ground that's going to say mini rods, and that's where it's going to be. There's going to be a flag pro stock, so the fans going to be able to see a banner that says one of them streamer, deals or whatever you call it.
Oh, yeah.
That hangs in the ground. It's going to say, this is where the pro stocks are. This is where the mini rods are. Which, I mean, I want it to go to another. I want to take this to the next level of professionalism. Like I want Tyler Slaw to wash his suit. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just cutting at you.
I'll do it, RJ.
I'm totally just
Tyler, he wants you
to now in the show now. It's good.
Tyler, he wants you to put a fresh new fresh new rattle can paint job on your frame before you show up, please.
Okay.
This is all good shit though. Like RJ.
I'm just being a smart ass there, Tyler. You can respect that. I'm just saying, like,
no, I get what
want it to be. I do want it to be respectful. We need the fans. We need the fans to come in, and we need the sponsors, guys. When the sponsors can come and they can see all of us in our team shirts, professional, and I don't do it good enough. Black pants maybe would be a good thing. I mean, one thing I'll say, like the Boyd family, when they were pulling, like that was a professional group. When their crew rolled in, they looked,
Shelton's
like they were at a drag race. I'm just saying, like, Donald might have to wear a shirt. It might be mandatory.
Ooh, that's going to be tough.
I need to up our program because I'm the worst at this. But I'm all for it if they said we got to do it.
Tyler's feet, we don't know where they'll have to be yet. They might have to be tucked behind his ears. We don't know.
Don't read that.
Don't
because...
pull the text out. Put it back in your pocket. Damn it. I know you want to hear it.
All right.
RJ, can you talk about we have an audience of people that probably don't know what's going on with your event, and they've learned enough now contextually about the entry fee. Can you take us through the roadmap? And we actually have the payouts that we're going to show on the screen to the viewers watching live, but talk about really how this works.
And the payout could end up changing, guys. Like if that could be a question for you pullers when we get the entry all filled in, all of a sudden we might ask you guys, hey, do you like the final payout? And if 40 of you all say you want it spread down further, we can change it. This is not set, but what?
Survey Monkey, you're gonna survey it out.
I mean, it's the quickest and easiest way to do it because I don't want, no offense, but I don't want back a 6-paragraph long reason why to change it. I want a multiple choice question, and it's a vote. Here's where we're changing it. Period.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. If everyone says we want it, one of the options could be, do you want the money spread out more in the finals? Sure. I mean, I want it to pay $50,000 because I feel like that's a. Go ahead. I know you're going to interrupt.
It's $2,500 per person that enters, and then there's a preliminary and there's a final. So explain this to us so we know.
Yeah. So there's $2,500 per vehicle to enter. There's a maximum of 50 entries in each class. I'm done at 50 entries. That's it. That's the max. So after those 50 are filled, we're going to put 25 of them will run on Friday night or Thursday night. 25 will run on Friday night. Okay. So 10 tractors or trucks on Thursday night will go into the finals. They qualify. And the same with Friday. Here's a twist though. So we're actually going to take 22 vehicles into the finals. So on Thursday night and Friday night after the event, we'll at later date announce this. But in roughly an hour after the show time, maybe 30 minutes, we'll after the last red flags dropped, we'll tell you the time way beforehand at the driver's meeting or whatever. We're going to go to the milestone. And the winners are going to be in the milestone from that night. We're going to be doing a nice little
basically me, Adam, and Tyler,
a press conference up on stage. The winners will be up there talking about how they did tonight and just gloating, telling, banging their chest, and they earned it. And we're going to draw each winner out of the class. Each winner of that night is going to draw out of the 15 that did not make it. They're going to draw out of the hat, and there's going to be one lucky dog. He could be number 20. He could be the 25th vehicle that night. He could be the 11th place vehicle that night, but they're going to get to come into Saturday night's final via that night. But there's a catch. He must be present
in the bar.
In the event center to accept that and come on stage and talk about how he just got that lucky dog. If he's not there, if he doesn't come up or she does not come up, we move on. We draw the next person.
Oh man, for once competitively, it pays to be in the milestone after the event. I've been training for this my entire life, RJ, and my dad will often get upset if I'm up there too quick after the event. But for once, it's in my favor.
Those that don't know, the milestone is the amazing bar on site at the 300 Raceway that everyone loves to go to. Beautiful venue. You got to be there when you come to this event. The milestone is the must place.
Is that where you got your wedding booked at, Chase? Or what?
Yeah, Chase. Chase said he was going to be getting married there.
We'll get to that later.
Okay. I've been calling. Nobody answers.
No one answers.
You've been calling who? The milestone or the women?
Oh shit.
Both.
So
3 ways. 3-way call.
So I mean, and that was kind of our way just to kind of give that lucky dog. I know it's kind of goofy, but it's like we want to try to get. We're trying to bring a little extra action to the to the event, and we feel no better way to do it than right there.
The winners get to draw though.
The winner is going to draw because he's going to be up there talking about how great the night was, and then we're going to let him or she, him or her draw, or it, whatever, whatever pronoun you use. I don't know, they.
Easy now.
I think your new name's Vincent McMahon because you know how to put on a show. I love this. Vince McMahon, RJ Simon, same people. Milestone.
Well,
no, that's easy there, Chase.
Yeah.
Oh, is that bad?
Yeah, Chase, you're not up to speed on things.
I'm sorry, RJ. I didn't
but
get
the fact that somebody can go
you're not
Thursday,
man. I thought that was a compliment.
The fact that somebody can go Thursday night and they can just have an off night, as we all do in tractor pulling, and they can wind up last, and still they're going to have a chance Saturday to run for.
What are the odds of them that chance, Tyler? I mean,
that'll be 1 in 15 if we have a full field of mini rods, RJ.
Okay, good. Okay, just making sure. And that's what we want to do. So that's what's going to happen. So then Friday night or Saturday night, here we go. We're going in. You're going to have 22 vehicles, roughly, give or take, if the fields are full, and going into Saturday night, and we're going to run for the big check. I mean, $50,000 to win in each class, and I'm just stoked about it. And it's paying down all 20 spots, and that are going to get paid. We didn't think about the 22. Ryan Reitzel, the dates will be June 13th, 14th, and 5th. No, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Now you got me all messed up on my dates.
Sorry, I'm pretty sure it's June 12th to the 14th.
The second Saturday in June, the same as I run every year.
I didn't know Vince McMahon was a bad name, RJ. I did not know that. I just got a text
I
saying,
really don't.
asshole. I'm sorry. I don't watch the news.
I'm pretty sure your name's not on the list anymore, Chase. So sorry.
Well,
no, but so that to be said, just
the...
outside the more professionalism of the event being shown, all the pullers parking together, being a little bit more respectable with the showing of ourselves. Maybe like I said, Chase's crew isn't out there without any shirts on and stuff like they normally are. We'll be a little bit more respectable. But there are so many other sides of this event that'll be run differently. When he says the tech process will be different, we'll release that probably at a different date. Let's just say it's going to make things interesting how this event will be ran. And that's for every single class.
Yeah,
just much like you're gambling your money to win, you could gamble some other things too.
June 12th, 13th, and 14th. So 12th is the Thursday, 13th is the Friday, and 14th is the Saturday. So
in the interest
not to interrupt you there, guys,
good.
but one thing I've had a lot of questions asked. Rainouts. So say Thursday night rains out. Say we're in there, which obviously if Thursday night rains out, we're going to have one hell of a party in the milestone. Then Thursday night guys are going to run. We're running Friday at noon. If Friday night would rain out, we'd run Saturday at noon. And if Saturday night would rain out, we're running Sunday at noon.
Triple rain dates. When's the last time you heard of a pull with
this is a real sporting event? This is a real sporting event now. I like it.
And if for some reason Sunday looked like rain, if it rained out Saturday and Sunday looks like a rain out, then we'd have a whole meeting with all the competitors. But we're not, let's hope that would not happen.
Well, that's one of those deals too. The way you're doing this, RJ, the competitors, if it gets a real bad situation, they can try to help you decide. All right.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just going to sit everyone down like, hey, do you guys at all
for $50,000? I'll be there on Tuesday if you make me run on Tuesday. I don't give a shit.
Especially if you got all three in, right, Adam?
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I'm building all new shit for this.
I want to make sure we shout out towards the end of this segment, which it's going fast because we're having so much fun. Record show, by the way. We're going to reveal the pro stock confirmed entries and the 4-1 confirmed entries. For everyone out there. So
yeah, and that's not been seen by anyone. That's just been the only one that's seen is us. And
tell us how fast were those two classes filled?
I think I started it on a Friday, and by by Sunday night, Monday morning, they were all filled. So
That's
less than,
impressive.
yeah, like less than 3 days. So
Right.
it was humbling, and it really made us feel good that those filled up so fast. But then I'll be honest, we've hit this wall, this huge brick wall with these other 3 classes. And
What do you think the brick wall is with the 3 classes?
Hang on. What are those 3 classes? 2-wheel drive, mini rod, and what's the other?
4-wheel drive.
4-wheel drive.
All right, so let's get real candid right now and make sure we don't leave anything on the table. So those 3 classes stalled out. Pro stock and 4-1s went hard, filled within 48 hours, call it, or a couple of days. These 3 classes all stopped. All right, you take it from here, just so the fans that don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think the brick wall has been?
Yeah, let's build.
Well, I think the biggest problem is the fact that I only have 1 2-wheel drive. So if I still had like 10 of them, I would have filled a lot of them, but I don't. So that's a huge problem. But I only have 1 2-wheel drive. You believe that? Simon Stable owns 1 2-wheel drive. And the last time I've seen that's been a long time ago, but whatever. So long story short, I think everyone's worried about schedules. Haven't seen them, whatnot. But this year at Farley, we had 37 2-wheel drives. 37. And I signed it and I made it Grand National only. So you had to only be a Grand National license holder to come to Farley. And we had 37. And right now we're struggling to get 20 some. And well, Jeff, the payout, if the fields, I'm hoping the fields are full. If we get, like I said earlier, if we can get 35, I'm still rocking this thing. We're going to, us as a family, we're going to come together and still pay the big purse. I hope I can get 40. I really hope I can get 40 vehicles in these next 3 classes, which we're halfway there. I think it's doable. Shit, you got just mini rods alone. If you figure, ones that ain't signed up, there's 2 of yours, Jeff. There's 2 of Pisings. There's the Hoffmans. There's Guzas. There's Adam Bauer hasn't signed up yet because I'm sure he just doesn't know how to run run it or something.
Yeah, he doesn't know his internet. He doesn't know how to work
it was an email. It was an email, and he still hasn't figured out how to get the.
We got to get Grace to do it, or
ink and
Lori
quill
or
out to
somebody
fill
else.
it out.
I'd say if you call him a bitch, he'll be there.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with Grace. We'll make sure.
That's not a worry.
But
Someone
Troy signed up, so I'm sure if Troy's in Adam's in. So it's just there's so many mini rods that are still out there. Kevin Hill's
Lots of
got a
2-wheel
couple
drives.
tractors.
Lots of 2-wheel drives yet. 4-wheel drives.
The class is 2-wheel drives because class at all times, every event,
everyone,
no matter what, it's a lowest fill class. It's really interesting.
And honestly, maybe one of the most competitive classes of all of them, because you look at the things anybody can win.
It's the most competitive class in Poland. I heard it's really hard to win a championship in that class. But on a side note, I'm being a smart ass, RJ. That really surprises me that class is not full because it's you can't you get to you take a right turn out of your pit and you run a 10 2-wheel drive. So I don't understand why not. What's your take on that?
I really think it boils down to there's a lot of people that are just skeptical. And I don't understand why. This thing's going to happen. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have fun. We're going to pay out some stupid money, and we're going to run this thing totally different. And then, guys, pullers, fans, everyone, I hope and pray in 2026 that I have a part in it, and Chase does, and Adam does, and Tyler does, that we can make this into a pull-in series to where there's 6 of these events, and a points race, and run pulling
on that earlier said that this needs to be a circuit.
Well, sure it does. If you look at it, we're overused in some ways. When you have a pro stock tractor and you have over 20 hooks with one of the most maintenance heavy vehicles in all of classes, and you're running all across the country doing this stuff. Let's face it, it's very difficult. It begins to become into who just can survive till the end. And some people will spend more and more money just to make it to every single hook to get a wooden plaque and a piece of paper that's less than $10,000 to win.
Tyler likes the papers in his background, so be careful. He has them behind.
All right.
That's his background.
But the other thing with it is what people don't understand is when you narrow it down to numbers, much like Louisville does, or much like the Pullers Championship or whatever, and they all have their own deals. But when you know the amount of vehicles you can have, you know exactly or roughly how long the show's going to last, and it allows for you to do a lot of other things, maybe outside.
Control the show with controlled numbers. You can control the show.
Guys, let's face it. Let's face it. 2,500 is a lot of money. I get it. But if you times that by 6, that's 15 grand. And you had 6 events that you went to a year that paid 50,000 to win. I'm just saying that all of a sudden we're changing the whole aspect.
Don't make Chase do math because it's going to take 20 minutes.
I'm just saying. I know for a fact all 3 of you on your mini rods don't have blowers that cost more than 15,000. Just the blower.
Well, not us.
I mean,
Chase does. How about this? Chase doesn't even own his blower, and he pays a lot of money for it.
Chase's blowers can't be bought. But seriously, the level of competition.
How do you know I don't own them?
Of how hard.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever. I mean, if you don't own them, but you to buy a blower like that, 15 grand is. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not.
If you are running this, if you're running your pulling operation, I always say this as a business on a spreadsheet, which nothing about what we do in this sport makes sense on a spreadsheet for fun.
But this would make the most sense.
If you are running this on a spreadsheet, what RJ's doing is the most thing that it makes more sense than anything we've ever done. Like,
right. That's what I was getting at with that investment number. Like, I realize it's a lot of money, but you got 25 of you showing up the first night. Yeah, that's only a 4% chance, if you're showing up with stuff that's as good as everybody else's. But even with that lucky dog entry for Saturday, I think 1 in 15, that's just over 6% odds that you can, get in there again. Like, Chase is right. On paper, this probably makes more sense than anything else.
If you were depending on capital investment to run your operation, they would say you have to do this and you're not doing another event. That's just how it works, like on a spreadsheet.
So to answer Russ's question, he just asked how the numbers will be drawn.
So RJ's going to rig them where he can win.
Yeah. I only got one shot at it, Russ. I need every advantage I can get against you. But here's my thing with the numbers. So like a two vehicle team, Adam's hard because he's got 3. But like, for instance, Tyler and Bruce, use them for example. I want them spread out. I want one Thursday, one Friday. I'm going to automatically spread them out into each day on a multiple vehicle team. And the reason I want to do that is because of the simple fact that, so Adam, I guess, obviously, if you're driving 2 of them and Toby drives 1, then that'll be easy.
I don't know. For this amount of money, I'm driving all of them.
I bet Adam's driving them all for this. No offense, Toby. I love you.
No offense, Toby.
But my thing, like multiple vehicle teams, they're going to be spread between each night. That'll just be manually done. We'll know them are on. And then obviously from there, we'll, spread them out one way or the other. And then once they're spread into each night, then we will draw the numbers. And how I'd like to draw the numbers is going to be super old fashioned and I'm going to get lots of shit probably for it.
At the Milestone Bar.
Wednesday night at the Milestone.
Well, just wait. I want to roll them live on Facebook with 25 pills in a fucking roller, one at a time. So all the Pullers fans can watch me roll them, or whoever, rolls them for the prelim nights.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Finals night after Friday night obviously is done. Saturday at say noon, I'd like to come into the Milestone, have a little get together, go live on the internet. Get driver's meeting, go live on the old interweb, and we're going to draw them like we do at the truck show. I gave Mike Connie a great idea. We go down the stairs and we all draw a box, and there's your random number. You open the box, there it is. And that's exactly how I want to do it, in that same kind of fashion where everyone grabs it and you open it up. That's the box you get. Maybe we'll have a big corporate sponsor. Maybe we'll get, Filler Specialties to step in, and they'll be big sponsor for us, and, big corporate sponsor, and we'll be good. They can.
Okay, so basically, we're RJ. We're getting backstage information. This is like this is number one of all time. Not that nobody wants to see you here, but like what you're doing, people want to see it. They want to do it. And if you're not a puller, once again, involved in this, basically we're on here to say you're a B word, right? Or I'm saying
shame on you. Shame on you.
I'm just saying, like, if you don't want to be a part of this.
Hang on, RJ, give me an interruption tablet.
Damn, I think
Tyler,
this is the highest
if you do not
interruption
support
Chase
what
has.
this man is doing, you don't want to see pull and grow. That's
exactly where I'm at. Like, if you don't sign up and you don't jump on this, you basically are just telling me that I never want to hear a word out of your mouth saying, "Oh, this doesn't pay enough." If I hear that out of anyone that didn't enter, then they can.
It's essentially like the guy down the road who bitches about politics but doesn't vote. Well, mother effer, you should go vote. So,
well, here's the deal, guys. If say we're stagnant right now at 23 trucks, and we don't get it, we can just say the hell with it, and we can just say we'll make it a points race for whatever series it is.
That's easy.
Here, it's a points hook for Friday and Saturday night, and I won't pay 50 grand. I'll pay the normal purse, and I'll come out ahead, and I'll giggle all the way to the bank.
You'll go buy a new Pro Stock you always wanted.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I mean, one of them toy ones that I always want that El Nino tractor. I'll be able to afford one of them. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well said. That's where I'm at, guys. Like, if there's a puller that's just sitting here like, "Oh, I'll just wait," maybe not. Maybe once it gets fuller, like, you're just hurting the whole progression of it. Like, what we're trying to do is, I want to get everyone in. I want to make sure these things will fill up, and then that way we can say, okay, there's 35. There's no extra money. There's no question where we're gonna go with the extra money, because there is none. Okay, it's not there.
Oh, yeah, that new Pro Stock, that guy called you out on.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, if there's 50,
I'm sorry.
If there's 50 and 50 mini rods, then there's extra money in that purse, because it takes 42 to break even on the purse. That the way I have it structured right now, which is totally changeable. If all the pullers want to change it, we can change it. I'm not stuck.
The pullers are in control of what you're basically building the road. Yeah. Pullers fucking drive on it if you want to drive on it.
Yeah, right. But if Chase Richardson's the only two-wheel drive guy that wants it to pay $5,000 between everybody, because everyone deserves a participation trophy.
He's a Democrat.
He's.
I'm not a two-wheel drive puller. I just did it for.
He's the only vote for that. It doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. Sorry, Chase.
This is
a stupid idea.
We don't talk politics on this show, but we have common sense. So that's a.
But you know what I'm just trying to say?
Yeah. No politics.
Everyone's going to have a vote, and if there's 25 people that want it one way, and only 5 that want it the other way, guess which way it's going? The 25. I'm not sorry, you 5 guys might be upset, but sorry about your luck. Majority of
if that means first place only, unless the first place only pulls 25,000, it's still more money than has ever been paid for that class ever. Period.
Yeah. And I'm not saying I wouldn't change two-wheel drives to 25,000 or minis or whatever. One of the classes that isn't full, I'll give them options, but I think, guys, it's go big or go home. That's how I feel. It's just like when Adam told me right away. He's like, "Oh, you don't have to do 50 right away." It's like, you know what? Screw it.
Well, I think what I said in the whole deal of that is, like, obviously it's very.
Well, you weren't saying the bad way.
No, yeah. It's very intimidating, right? So now, yeah, I have ran pretty good with one tractor this year. I've ran like shit for 5 years. There's numerous times that I come home from Bowling Green in the last 5 years. I didn't finish in the top 25. I wouldn't even be in there. But I have enough faith in myself that, hey, put this together. I can make some good runs and be competitive. Are people going to turn their shit up? I'm sure they will, but you got to make it to Saturday night. You know what? Before you get there, so you can't, blow it up trying to get there. Some people might blow it up every night to do it. I don't think you have to, but this is a game changer in so many ways. I mean, even at Bowling Green, when Bad Gear shows up and pays $10,000 to win, everybody's like, "Oh shit!" Put a degree of timing in, do all this stuff. We ultimately beat ourselves in our own heads, right? Because you maybe don't have to do any of that stuff to still win, but still, it means something.
That Saturday night
means something.
That Saturday night competition, whether you're watching it from the starting line because you got a rig in the game or watching it from the stands, that there is not going to be a more on-kill, pushing your equipment, head-to-head competition than that Saturday night in Farley, Iowa. Right. And, that gets me jazzed as a competitor. And, as a pulling fan, I don't know what more you'd want to see.
One of my
and you don't have to, and you don't have to watch 50 tractors to watch it, right? Yeah. So it's Saturday night at Bowling Green. You got to watch 50 tractors to watch who wins. You're only going to watch 20. So 22. I'm sorry, 22.
We got the lucky dogs. We're going to get the lucky dogs with your other 3 tractors in there, Adam.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody will make sure that.
RJ, but unpopular question, but we all know that there's been another event scheduled on top of yours. Questions, comments, thoughts, ideas. We can't not bring it up.
It's just it's a bad deal for all parties. I love Hutchinson. It's a great pull. I went up there this year, had a lot of fun there. Got rained out, unfortunately, Saturday night. I don't mind the pull. I really don't. But
track's coming around.
At the end of the day, I don't know what to say. I would love to just move my event and moved it earlier. But I have weddings here at this event center booked every weekend, all summer long.
For the people that haven't been to the Milestone, that's just how prestigious of a venue this is. And I don't even say that sarcastically. I mean, it's a beautiful facility, wonderful full bar. Bartenders are awesome. That's part of what makes Farley special. So this venue, your grounds, you blocked that off anticipating this date here.
It's literally at the
2 years ago. 2 years ago, we blocked it off. Yeah, I have the next 3 years blocked off the second Saturday in June. And
so it's on top of Hutch. And what date was Hutch this past year?
I don't know the exact date, but it's all so Hutch the last 12 years has been 10 of them 12 years has been the third Saturday in June. 1 year it was the first Saturday in June, and 1 year it was the fourth. Hold on, I got notes. Fifth Saturday in June.
So 2 years ago, you blocked off this date. You were locked in. You posted the date for this event. And then what was it, a couple days later?
It was it was about a week or 2 weeks. And, it came out just this week that it was, that they released their date, and it's hard. I hope something can change. I can't change anything. It's either A, we don't have an event. There's nothing at Farley in 2024 or 5, I guess it is 2025. There's nothing at 25 at Farley, that's my only option. I am sorry. I'm not calling a bride to be and saying, "Hey, how you doing? I want to have a tractor pull, so I'm going to need you to move your wedding."
Yeah, I've heard brides are very understandable.
We call her though. Would you share her information and we can bring her on the next guest of the podcast?
I'm just not going to do it. It's a rude thing to do. I will literally cancel the event before I do that, because that's the most special day in somebody's life. And the last thing I'm going to do is do that to somebody, because their deposits are down and their caterers, just everything. I'm not going to do it. It ain't going to happen. There's no if and or buts. I'm putting on the largest pull one way or the other.
You're not wavering,
no,
RJ. This shit's
I
happening.
wish no harm. I wish no harm to the Rose family. They're great people and they work their tail off up there. But at the end of the day, I'm going up. I'm having this, or we are having this pull on that date, hands down. If they are too, so be it. I hope, it is what it is, and I'm rocking and rolling, and this is going to be the biggest paying pull in history. And yeah.
And for anybody that doesn't know, there still is not a sanctioning body that is being named for this event yet.
No.
Are you?
But it's gonna happen.
Are you open to talking about that, RJ?
Yeah, I'm open to talking about it. So yeah, I mean,
what are you waiting around for, RJ?
Honestly, I'm waiting around for it's coming down to dollars and cents. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I could sit here and bullshit you guys and say it's about the people or it's about the this and that. I got to look out for the bottom line. I don't want to lose any more money than I have to or whatnot. So at the end of the day, my options are all open. I've got PPL and NTPA working on it. And then actually I've had the Outlaw Association reach out to me today as well. So there's no bad sanctioning body. They all have great things. They all have a couple bad things, but we need them all. All three of them I just named, we need all three of them. We can't all pull without them. If we had just one, it would turn into just a dictatorship where one would just be in charge and there would be no competition and it would just be bad. And I don't want that. Ideally, honestly, this is probably going to sound crazy and everyone's going to be like, I would love to just see all three of them put their heads together at this event and possibly this series in 26 and make Poland great again. And that's honestly because we could go to Nebraska or I'm not going to California, Robbie. So just so you know, there's not a snowball chance in hell. No offense. I love you, buddy, but there ain't no way I'm number one.
Hey, for $50,000, I'll go to California. I don't give a shit.
Your shit's too long to go there too. You have to rent a semi from me. God damn it.
No, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I could do that for $50,000. I can buy a $5,000 truck that would get me there.
Oh,
maybe not 5,000.
I got enough 53-foot van trailers. I just load my shit in it. I guess for $50,000, I'd probably come about it. I lied. Okay, Robbie,
I've actually pulled in California before. I've actually pulled in California before. The fans are awesome. They actually are. It's great fans in California.
I would do anything. All I want to do is I just want pulling to grow. Like, I've been in this since I was a little kid, me and my brother, chasing my dad around. We didn't go – all we did was go pulling all summer long. I don't know what normal people –
But, RJ, when you were younger, where did you go to these pulls at? Did you go to the Astrodome? Did you go to the big stadiums? Like, it felt big then. The prize money was better than it is now. I mean,
I don't fucking remember. Like I was little. Well, yeah. I mean, you.
I forgot. I forgot. I'm the oldest one on this screen.
Yeah, you are old. Look at how gray your freaking goatee.
Oh, you like that?
Jeez.
You like that?
Holy shit! Holy crap! But
this world.
My thing is all I want is just I want pulling to change, and it's not that it's bad. And I love so many events we go to, but like this year, that pro stock schedule, no offense on the Grand National side, burnt me and our team out so hard because we had 22 hooks to start the season, and which obviously we got some rained out, but we were there at all of them that rained out. But it's a lot, guys, and that kind of thing needs to get limited. It needs to back down because, unfortunately, this does not pay. We have real jobs we all have to go to. Well, all of us but Chase. But
well, I think what you're trying to say is even on a bigger thing if you do end up making a series out of this down the road, or you can already see it now with pullers. Pullers are going to a lot of people are just hit and miss where they want to go. A lot of people want to go to Toma. A lot of people want to go to Hillsboro. A lot of people want to go to these bigger events. And unfortunately, some of these events you have to be in the points races to go to. To get invited to the truck show, you have to be in the top 5 of either organization. And then there's a couple promoters' choices.
Hey, or do you? We don't know yet. Maybe it's gonna be a buy-in deal too, and it's gonna pay $50,000 to win.
Well, people could learn from this, but the other thing is like, so you look at the whole schedule across the summer. I love running the circuit because I love spending time with the friends, fans, all the stuff, going to all these different events.
Stay up to daylight with his music blaring.
But the big thing is, we miss a lot of our activities at home. I think all of us, luckily for us, sometimes we get holidays off. Some guys don't. Some classes in pulling don't. Whether it's the 4th of July, Labor Day, whatever it is, there are actually times where people need a break. And when they keep plugging these classes into different events just because they have good numbers, it burns people out. Yeah. And when it burns people out, it keeps you from coming back year after year. I can sit here and tell you in the next 10 years, will I still be pulling? I hope I am. But if shit don't change, I probably won't be. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually it just gets to the line where you go, how long are we going to do this? How long are we going to drag our shit up and down the road for nothing?
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I look at. Okay, us 4 right here on the screen are all the next generation. Are we going to be able to survive going pulling, spending more on diesel fuel to get there than what we could win if we get first place?
No.
I don't think so. No. There's not enough people. There's not enough younger generation going to get into the sport when you could go dirt track racing and pull and race for 10, 15, 20,000 every weekend.
Right. It goes.
What are you talking about? You can get a demo car. You can get a demo derby car and go minimum $10,000 to win for a demo.
The part that blows my mind about pulling is that we have way more people in the stands than a late model dirt track racer, the average one, and they make 100 times more money than we do. Like nothing.
RJ, you kind of referenced it in the beginning, but like there's a lot of people that don't know the background. So you mentioned your race you had that was kind of built on this same sort of fiscal structure. Break down the basics of, the numbers and the entry fees and how that played out.
So that was a little different. So like that situation, it was $500 to enter and there was 300 cars in one class. So that
it's 150 grand right there.
Yep. But then one thing about pulling versus racing. So all them race car drivers and their crew members buy pit passes. So like it's $150 for the whole weekend for your pit pass per person. So, that's huge.
Can you imagine the onslaught on Facebook if you would have thrown that in there too?
That's not happening. That's not the thing.
I think he's past what people think on Facebook. RJ was on that FaceTime call too, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
I was.
He was actually like the fourth or fifth person.
He's the only person that answered it.
I answered it, and Kayla's on the couch. I'm sitting in the chair. We're at home, and it's like, what in the do these guys want?
People calling you
on a Tuesday night.
Why is Jason Schultz calling me?
Yeah, that Jason Schultz is just I'm not sure what his deal is, but but all I can do is go every time I see Jason, all I can think about is his IROC getting wrecked at the Turn Dirt Nationals. It was the funniest. It's still the funniest video on YouTube. If you guys got time, go look. It's fucking hilarious.
All right, quick, tell us about that, RJ. What happened?
So he has this midlife crisis, and he buys this IROC that he always wanted as a kid, like this, red IROC T-tops, just like loving life, and doesn't tell his wife, kind of like hides it, I guess, supposedly, or whatever, like doesn't tell her. Well, then he's got this Turn Dirt Nationals at Richland Center that he puts on, and there's this guy there that's like jumping cars and jumping dirt bikes, and his buddies all screw with him and like go to like a junkyard or something and find this red Z28, IROC that looks just like his from 500 feet. So Jason's up in the announcer stand, and this guy that's jumping cars like on this ramp comes flying around the racetrack with this red IROC, and they're like, and it's like painted the same, got the same stripes and everything, and it literally sets sail over top this jump with it and like destroys it. And he's like, "That's my car. What the hell? You guys are..." Yeah. And literally his buddies were all just screwing with him. And that was just funny. I think it's funnier now. I mean,
that's wonderful. That's
it's
awesome.
definitely something that friends do to friends.
I've actually never seen that video, so I'm going to have to look it up for sure. That sounds pretty wonderful. Should we get into these lists?
Yeah.
You better.
Let's show the 4-1. Let's show the 4-1 limited pro stock list, RJ, which this one filled pretty quickly. We won't have to read them all off, but like anything that comes to mind as you see that list.
I mean,
it's the who's who.
It's more prestigious than the farm show, by the way.
I mean, it's just a stout. If you go down through that whole list and them names and see those, I mean, there's not a slouch on there when it comes to the 4-1s. That 4-1 class is going to be by far. I mean, it's and that's why I picked the 4-1. So like, I didn't have I'm always busy pulling my stuff, so I don't get to pay attention a lot. But guys, this year I kind of was around. Dean's been a huge help with me with the semi and the old mother trucker there. So I've been kind of around his a little bit, and I'm like, this class is freaking awesome. Like, why is this not a Grand National or a
easy saying that,
or a Champions Tour or a
you're
top
thinking
level
bitches in this class.
A top level class, like it should be higher. It should be a higher level class because it's, man, I mean, they're kicking out a lot of power. So here we are. I was like talking to Dean. I'm like, hey, what would you think if I put together a pool that paid $25,000 to win? He's like, bullshit, you're crazy. Well, then, like, without even talking to him, I roll this thing out paying $50,000 to win. He's like, what are you doing? Like, oh my God, are you serious? I'm like, yep. He's like, oh my gosh, he was, I can't kind of speechless, but he was the first one to sign up. So I think he's number one hook on Thursday night because that's how we're doing it.
Don't say that.
That's not how we're doing it. That's what we keep giving him shit.
Don't say that.
All right.
So basically, there's no bitches in this 4-1 class, is what you're saying.
Well, no, there is some women. Don't say that. You can't.
Oh, Chase.
You're such a jerk. Why are you such a jerk?
Chase. My goodness.
Jeez. What a
Give me the Adam. Give me the mute button. Carry on.
I mean, you can't say that stuff.
RJ, I'm sorry.
There's a million people watching us right now, and you say the B word? What in the world? Oh,
it is our biggest show of all time, is what they're telling me.
All right, RJ.
Okay.
Before we get into the pro stock list, I have a deal I like to call the rapid fire questions. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, where I just lay out about a dozen questions.
I don't think you had this when we were on last time. I don't
think you did.
We didn't.
We did.
I don't think we did. I don't think you did.
I don't think you did.
Whether we did or not, we're going to roll through it. It's a new set of questions. I try to never reuse them. So it's just simple questions, no explanation needed, quick answer, right on to the next one. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We don't want to take too long here. So here we go. Yep. Other than water, what would you choose to dive into a pool of?
Option.
Gosh, that I guess that's going to have to be like that's a terrible answer. I don't know.
You got to give him options, Tyler. You got to give him two options.
This isn't Survey Monkey, RJ. We need an answer. There's no multiple choice. Come on.
Please say almond milk.
There's no wrong answers. Let's go.
Chocolate milk.
What thing today do you feel like will be the most outdated in all of your pulling vehicles in 20 years?
Probably one of the pro stocks.
What is the strangest thing you have ever eaten?
Oh, I'm a very, very bland eater, so I guess
there's got to be something.
Something strange is probably like biting into a sandwich with everything on it. I hate pickles. I fucking hate pickles.
That's pretty strange and radical, RJ. I can understand that. If you had to pick a state to live in other than one that borders Iowa, what would it be?
I'd probably have to say Indiana. I kind of like living down. I kind of like seeing down there hanging out with all Adam's buddies. They're pretty good times.
Very nice. What is the strangest thing that you accidentally lit on fire?
Jeez, I'm sure I've lit somebody on fire at one time. I just don't know who, but I'm sure.
So a person, okay. If you could freeze time and everyone in it for 24 hours, where would you want to be and what would you do?
I'd probably freeze it at Bowling Green when I won that semi-class. That was awesome.
Oh, absolutely. What simple thing do you do almost daily that brings you inner peace?
Just seeing my kids,
Absolutely.
my 4 boys.
If you had to say fire a truck driver.
If you had to listen to one song on repeat for a week straight, what song would be your choice?
Don't say P. Diddy.
I'd say I'm kind of a big man. You're gonna fucking laugh at this, but Brookston on Hardworking Man. I love that song.
I love it. What is one thing that's at the top of your bucket list that you haven't crossed off that you'd like to do yet?
I'd like to get light enough to drive one of them mini routes.
That's my boy. When was the last time you used a DVD?
Shit, I don't know. A long time ago. Like
what
I don't
tech
know the date.
What's that?
I don't know the date.
That's fair. What tech official would you want to vacation with for a week straight, just the two of you, if you had to pick one?
Is it multiple choice? I mean,
no, sir.
Like, what are they teching? Like, are they like a head tech official, or are they like a
either one? Dealer's choice.
Please say Marvin Everson.
Jim Miller. He's a tech official every once in a while. I like to hang out with Jim Miller. He's my best buddy.
That's fair,
buddy.
Outside of tractor pulling, what do you do that makes you genuinely happy?
Just hang out with my wife and 4 boys. They're a blast. Just anything I can do with them.
Absolutely, and that's all there is to it. That's a rapid fire questions.
Applause. Applause.
I mean, that was a pretty easy one, Tyler. You went really easy on me. I was expecting some really tough ones, like I like the golfing one. You know, who was that with the time? I think it was Obama.
Let's bring that one up again.
Yeah, I forget the details of that one, RJ. I don't think we want to go there.
You don't remember it? I don't remember it either.
Yeah. I guess to reference last week's most popular question, RJ, would you have trusted the first guy that drank milk from a cow?
The first guy to drink milk from a cow?
Yeah, what was that guy up to?
What do you think he was?
I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest.
What's this white substance coming out of his?
So RJ, listen. Eventually, or previously in our timeline, there had to have been the very first person to ever drink milk from a cow. Would you have trusted that guy? Would you have been number 2?
Yeah, it's probably fucking God.
You would have trusted him?
Well, the fucking guy's like, he's probably God was the one who created the fucking cow. He's probably the one who fucking gave us nourishment.
I don't know that our Heavenly Father was the first one to consume milk, RJ. I mean,
yeah, I know you don't fucking know, but neither do I. So you're telling me you don't know the guy, neither do I. So I'm going to pretend it's God, so screw you.
All right, you're trusting him. I like it. Well, not to switch gears, but I feel like we should
everyone listening for the first time.
I feel like
I don't. You know what? I feel good for once in my life. I don't have to ask our guy, what if you were in charge of pulling for one day? What would be one thing you do to make it better? I think he's doing it.
He's doing it.
Like he's 100% doing it.
Should we get to that pro stock list?
RJ, I think as we start wrapping up here. I
think we should just skip the pro stock list. I think our viewers really don't want to see the pro stock list.
I think
the viewers may not want to see where. I'm just saying potentially.
There it is. It's up.
Oh boy,
it's up. Look at that.
Here we go. The no bitch list.
My goodness, there's
a woman on this one too. You're such a jerk. Gosh.
Why are we such a jerk?
What we do?
Because he's making,
Oh, it's the no bitch list. It's a no bitch list. Yeah.
It's
Look at that. I'll tell you what.
I see a few tractors coming out of the woodwork here.
Hey, back up. I see some new ones on there.
Oh yeah. Yep. There's some. We got a new one on there. Brett Myers got a new one on there. The Hart family, they haven't been out of the stable in a while. They're on there.
Local Brad Hartman with the Hardcore Addictions on there. He's a local here.
Yeah, we got. I mean, there's the field is stacked. I mean, when that pro stock list filled up, it's like, wow. You know, the Mastersons are on there. You know, Meddings, Carlton Cope, Rob Russell, Stramix.
The who's who of pro stock pulling is there. Is there anyone missing?
Absolutely.
Well, go to the other page. Let's see the other page backstage. I think this is only 40 of them.
So explain to me. I'm not totally up to date. These Harts guys are big time deals, and they're back coming to this event. Dustin Hart,
Brandon and Dustin Hart. They're the ones that run Hart's Diesel and build a lot of the top notch turbos, and they signed up 2 tractors, so that's pretty impressive. So.
That's a pretty stacked list right there. I mean,
stacked
really.
Show the first page of that list again. I saw. There we go.
Yeah, you got the 618 Pro Stock, Wishmeyers, Jack Mays, Bootlegger.
It's everybody. I mean, it's everybody. If you're not watching the show right now, this is everybody in the Pro Stock class.
Yeah, Jay Miller's bringing out the old Cruising Mule too, with a new Chaos power plant. I mean, that's out there. The Shelton team with 3 pro stocks. The Coates family just right down the street here with two pros. Jason Round with 3 pros. Rhett Parrish, Brick Myers. I mean,
Schmuckers.
Guys, Schmuckers.
Everybody.
Yeah, can't count them out. Yeah, absolutely.
Roll the next one. Let's go through the list on that. There we go.
Denny Brown.
You know what I think? You know what I think is really funny, and just to throw this out there, the No Fear Deer of Randy Bader. I actually worked at Engler's when that tractor was built.
That's another new one.
Tractor, and I haven't.
Hey, that's a brand new one again.
Okay, well, I'm saying it's good to see those guys because I remember working at Engler's building a tractor for them. It's awesome to see even those guys back on there.
Yeah, they're coming back out. It's just Craig Ludwig, Peter Norton. I mean, the Connie family. I mean the Mac Daddy, Mac Nasty, Brent Meyer, Avery Nallman, Chance McGrath. I mean, he had a great season. And then this guy named Brandon Simon.
I've heard of him.
And I don't know why.
Loud and Loaded, is that a new thing? Loud and Loaded?
And then that's the new tractor that is getting built. That's the new one. So I don't know why he put my name on it because I know he'll end up driving it because I'll get all nervous.
Come on. You won the Farm Machinery Show. How could you get more wound up than that?
I don't know. It is
this is $50,000, Adam.
Mr. Humility.
Did you not go to Canton and whoop up on them there too? I mean, on one night.
Yeah, I got every blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while, Adam.
Okay.
You had a question. Will the new Pro be red or green, RJ?
Really?
Probably neither.
Oh. I see Tim Bowen asking, is camping going to be available? He must have missed the portion where we said camping will be available, RJ.
There's lots. Man, we got the last page here. We got, yes, camping will be available. We got Dustin Hook coming out with his tractor. That's going to have a brand new power plant in it. Schmuckers, like we talked. John Link with the Revelation Pro. Mastersons, like we said. Tim Stone. Jeremy Smith bringing the Caterpillar out this way. And Carlton Cope, Corey Bob with the other Wishmeyer tractor, and then the old legend Rob Russell, and then
Braden Shramick.
Yep. I mean, there's just when it comes to a pro stock field, if I had to go out there and just cherry pick the baddest group of guys, that's the list. I don't know anyone. I can't think of anyone that's not on that list.
We don't have pro stocks, but we have one. We would be involved.
Yeah, you'd be cutting my grass with your pro stock.
Somebody says no Russell Hildebrand. We're just gonna have him there for entertainment.
Yeah, well, hey, it's not over yet, and that's one thing. We're actually probably going to open the entry back up for the pro stock and the 4-1, and we're just going to call it the standby list. So if somebody doesn't pay or back out, we're actually gonna add a couple more tabs onto the list here sometime tomorrow. That's just going to be the wait list. So.
What about the 2-wheel drive, mini rod, and 4-wheel drive list?
2-wheel drive, mini rod, 4-wheel drive. They need to get off their ass and get
Harry.
Enter
What did Trump say?
So
Harry,
simple.
get your fat ass off the couch.
I mean, literally, one of my best buddies. I'm gonna call him out right here in front of him. Was like, I don't have time to enter all 3 of them. I don't want to do it 3 times. It took him 5 minutes. He had it done. It was super easy. He did it.
It is. It is very simple.
I made it so simple because I hate filling things out. It's literally put your email in twice, your address in, your tractor name, your name. If there's an owner that's different from the driver name, and you click the box that says you understand what you're signing up for, that the spot is non-transferable because I don't want Chase Richardson to enter his tractor and then it gets filled and then sell his spot to Bill Flanagan. I don't want that.
All the money's going to your new pro stock. We know that.
Shut up. Tell him to shut up, RJ.
I'm being a jackass. That is not true.
I can't wait to get someone else to do the live stream in this event just so I can break it off in here. No, I'm just shitting with you. I
love this.
I totally want. I need all the information. I need all the data. If you have any interest in doing this, talk to me. If it has to do with anything, you guys all know how to get a hold of me. If you're in the 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, mini rod class, you guys all know how to get a hold of me.
Absolutely.
I've known.
Just to put it on record, there's how many spots left in each? Do you have that on hand?
I got a trusty laptop right here that can tell you.
RJ, while you're looking that up, RJ, I just wanted to say if anybody out there is looking for a Christmas present for their husband that has a pulling vehicle in one of these 3 classes, and you guys have talked about this, the husband and wife, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, it's just a lot of money for entry. It'd be really cool to pull for $2,500 or for $50,000, but I don't want to throw $2,500 at it. As a wife, sneak in there, sign your husband up, pay for it, and then announce that to him on Christmas morning that he's going to be pulling for $50,000. You'd be wife of the year. Just saying.
Yeah, he'll be rocked up for six months.
Oh yeah, bricked.
So there's 18 mini rods right now, 23 2-wheelers, and hold on here. I got to scroll down through.
How many 2-wheelers, RJ?
23 2-wheelers, 23. I lied. 23 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers, and 18 minis. And I did not update the list yet, so let me flip screens. Maybe we had some. Let's see if we had any. Let's see if we had any cool people. No one's cool enough to register while we were in this deal. What the hell?
Oh, that would have been fun.
That would have been fun if we had like 10 more entries while we were snapping this out.
Before we say goodbye to you, you had a pretty special moment this year that we have a video of to share, and we want you to just walk us through your last pass Saturday night in a 2-way pull-off, the last vehicle to run down the track at Bowling Green even. And I mean, I was up in the stands watching it, and I got goosebumps personally.
First off, RJ, hang on. What you're doing as a promoter and trying to help grow the sport is amazing, but we got to shout out. You won 2 championships this year, bro. Yeah. These guys got to give you the proper announcement. Winning that championship and the way you did that after you won a light mod and a super semi title, RJ or Tyler, carry it on. I'm sorry. Stop.
So yeah, the light mod deal was crazy. Like, we ended up getting into a pull-off situation on the first session there on Thursday, and Bill couldn't come back, so we didn't run it. And I wanted to run it, and I wished I would have, because we would have found out that it would have broke the valve then, because we had our little hot that first pass. I heard it pop at the end. I knew something was not right, but I didn't. It all checked out the next day, but we didn't. And
well, when half the valve's missing, it's still just okay.
Yeah, no shit. But we found that out now, asshole.
Good
But
customer service.
Hey, I had a spare engine. I would have gladly removed it from my trailer and put it right
we
on.
had 2 of them with us. We had 2 spares.
Yeah.
That ain't the thing. So whatever. So I went out there on the next day, and at about 100 foot or less, not even that. I mean, it just It was
sounded
done.
like it ran on one engine, because it was.
Yes. And I don't even know what spot I got. I mean, I was just like, this sucks.
No, you're thinking, fucking Adam Kester, you fucked me again.
No, I wasn't thinking that, because we bought the parts from you, but we put them together at that time. It wasn't no one's fault, but I mean, we had a hot tune-up in. We knew we had to win, and all I could think of was the old veteran Bill Voorhees is going to come scooting by me. I just threw a points championship away at the last hook of the year, and I was just sick to my stomach. And sure enough, he goes down through there and does worse than me. Bounces it. I mean, it was bad. And long story short, I won that championship, but it didn't feel good. Like it didn't set in, because it was the last hook of winning a championship was so poor. You know what I mean?
You weren't done for the weekend at that point, though. Now, were you?
So
You were not.
But then I'm like, the championship, I got that one, but the championship for the semi is out of my reach. Like, I can't gain enough points to get around Brian. There's no way. So I go out and we win Friday night, get first with the truck, but I only gain 2 points on, or 1 point on, 2 or whatever, very minimal points on. I think he got third. So I gained, and Chris Woods wasn't taking points, so I gained 1 point on him. Well, long story short, I went in there and I'm like, well, nothing else. I'd love to win a ring, So you go into Saturday night with just that mentality, and all of a sudden, Brian is in front of me that night. And he breaks his rear end at like 80, 100 feet. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, did this just happen? Like, I literally have to go A to B, and I could win a championship here yet in the semi. Like, if you would have been, if they could have got a camera of me back there.
I saw you come around the pits.
If anybody knows RJ, he's a little bit spastic when it comes to stuff. He gets a little worked up, a little anxious.
I'm literally pacing, and Brandon's already on his way home. He had so much work to do at home, so he left after he won the mod ring. He's like, well, good luck tonight. Run the pros, do this. So I've already ran the pro stock that night, and I'm over there. The semi where we run it, I'm back there just pacing, because I just watched Brian break this rear end, and I know I just need to go A to B and get like a second place. As long as I get behind Woods, I got the championship. If he goes in the lead, well, Woods blows it out there. I mean, he makes that first pass look so easy, like no one can touch it.
Tough running.
So I come down through there right behind him. I'm literally right behind Chris Woods, and I barely get it out the end. Like, I just snuck it out. I think I went like 353 or whatever. I barely got it out. Well, at that point, we knew we solidified the championship after we did that. So,
but
Brandon,
you had one thing left to do, didn't you?
So, yeah, Brandon texts me. Is like, you better run that thing again. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not checking a filter. I mean, this thing's getting fresh ice, and we're rocking and rolling. So we take it back around. We're thrashing to find ice. Luckily, Chris Jeffries has got extra ice. So we're, loading 100 and some pounds of ice in this thing, because, we don't care if the beer's cold at this point. We just need cold water, cold air into our freaking truck.
No, normal survive. He'll drink the beer before it gets warm.
Yes, exactly. So we end up just thrashing at this thing. We got, I don't even know how many leaf blowers. Just people were walking up with leaf blowers, blowing on the engine. We're just trying to cool this thing down because, literally, we're coming right back. There's a couple trucks behind us, but that's it. And it's go time. Well, Chris goes and makes a nice pass. And I'm like, man, I don't know. And I come down through there and got around him. And I was just ecstatic. I seen the crew on the sideline.
Let's watch this moment here, RJ. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I'm just slipping it out, and you're just, the front wheel is just ever so slightly lifting. That chassis is just an animal, and it just keeps digging, and we get it done. And then I'm watching the flag guy. I'm watching the guy on the sideline, Norm, actually, who says we got it. He's giving me the signal, we did it. And then, so here I am, just ecstatic. And I get out of this thing, the championship was one thing, but it was the win in the ring. That's my first ring. I've been going to Bowling Green since I was a young kid. I've never won a ring, and I just love that truck. That thing is blast.
So is it true that it is a right foot clutch?
Yeah. So, yeah. Right about
is that hard to get used to?
No, it's just as easy as running the left. It's just amazing. I've drove a truck my whole life. I've been driving a truck. I love trucking, and
I couldn't tell because when you were down there at the end, I saw your elbow up on the window. Is that how you go down the road in the fall? Get your elbow up on the window?
Where?
Look at Where? Look at the end of this run. He's turned around. He's looking at the leader cone, but his elbow's up on the windowsill. Look at it. Look at that thing. Look at it.
You ever heard of a trucker's tan? They get the left arm tan. That's it.
Hey, that's how the guy's comfortable. And clearly it worked. Even just rewatching this, when you jump out of that truck and you're fist bumping, just filled with raw emotion, that still just gives me goosebumps going back.
Blue Chew could not give him a hard on as hard as he was right there.
Last hook of the night at Bowling Green, two-way pull off. The guy comes back to sweep the weekend, gets the ring.
Right about there when I really did that one big fist pump. That's when I tore my shoulder out. Right there. Yeah.
You actually injured yourself from celebration?
Literally after I punched the air so hard that I hurt something in my shoulder.
It was worth it, and you would do it again, though, right?
Yeah. That sucker's still sore.
Good.
The only thing it would have been better if you would have had your fist out the window at 225.
Yeah, I don't have that big of balls. I only
don't crown champions in July, Adam.
Not everybody can be as arrogant as Adam and back it up.
They don't crown champions in July.
And then a lot of people don't know this. So we obviously didn't go to the Enderley. So the week before the Enderley, there's a pull, and it's a truck show. So it's a semi pull, only semis, up in Casson, Minnesota, which is just under 3 hours north of me. And it's a truck show. There was 600 semis there on display. Yes, I said 600.
Wow.
So I go up there to pull. Dean was telling me about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go up there and try this out. So I go up there the week before the Enderley and laid down a pass, got first place. Well, they have this thing called King of the Hill. Okay.
Oh, shit.
So you come back around and the top two in the super semi class pull against the top two in the 4-1 class. Okay. So I come back around, going to run again, thinking the hell with it. It's the end of the year. Going to rebuild it. It is what it is. Let's do this. And I shelled my rear end.
Really? At that event?
Yep. I didn't just take it out a little bit. I destroyed it.
Well,
And
what better place than there, right?
I hear you, but like, isn't it just coincidence? Like, literally, I made one more pass. Like, that's how close I was to wreck. I didn't bounce it or nothing. Like, it was just fatigue. Like, I was that close to wrecking my rear end and could have lost the points race or whatever.
That's a right foot clutch, I guess, paying off for you.
You know what? And after watching the track at the Enderley, it's probably a good thing you didn't go there because those trucks were bouncing to high hell at the end of the track.
Yeah.
You know,
It was so rough.
And it just sucks. Like, you know, we had five tickets to the Enderley, and I get a lot of people that like unhappy we didn't go or whatever. But for us, it's 10 hours of driving each way, and literally, like, it's our busiest time of the year farming wise. Like, or I shouldn't say ours. It's my brother's. I don't get into I run the trucking side until we get combining corn. He handles it because I'm not a huge tractor driver, believe it or not. I don't really like driving a tractor on the farm.
Yeah, but you like hauling that smoke.
Yeah, baby.
If it involves anhydrous or LP, I'm all about it. Bring me on, boys. or even grain. I don't mind pulling a hopper. I don't mind driving a semi, but I'm not.
RJ,
I've never been.
Is the rumor true that next year the Enderley will be the way to kick off the end of the points series? Can you confirm that little rumor?
God. he dropped out.
He didn't want to confirm that rumor for us.
I think we got throttled by NTPA. I think they're trying to keep a wrap on stuff, and they fucking cut him off.
Somebody just took a bolt cutters to RJ's Wi-Fi cord, just snip.
What an exit! What an exit!
What an exit! I mean, that's not how I wanted it to end, but I guess it's appropriate.
Yeah, we didn't give him
2.5 hours.
A farewell.
I think he was on it. I think he was on his burner phone, and I think it just took a dive on him.
Yeah, I bet
he's got two phones. One for the what?
What a show by him, and thank you to RJ and his brother for what they're doing to try to advance the sport. And it's not easy to put your neck on the line and say I'm going to do this crazy idea, but I'm glad that a lot of pullers are embracing it, and they have my full support individually, and I think this can only be a good thing.
Yeah, I think the Simon boys as a whole. You know, Braden isn't as vocal unless you know him very well.
Then he will be.
He is definitely he definitely wants to take the sport to another level. RJ wants to take it to another level. I think anybody that's kind of, you know, RJ calls me a lot. And it's not to talk about engines or talk about this and that. We talk all the time. He's on the road. I wear headphones all day long, so while I'm working, I can talk to him and stuff. And me and him literally just think about how we can make this sport better constantly. I mean, we actually get mad at each other because of, I think, how much we care. And, you know, maybe our ideas aren't the best. I think RJ's got great ideas. I really do. Some of my ideas are different than him, and we definitely butt heads on certain things. And but I think in the whole realm of the thing, and it's no different between us three, we're just trying to make it better. We're not trying to make it to where there's confrontation between PPL, NTPA, Outlaws, or what have you. We're just trying to, as a whole,
everyone
make this thing better.
Everyone wants the same thing.
I want to be able to say when I get old enough that my kid gets into the sport that we've advanced the sport. You know, that's all I want to do. I want to be able to say in 10 years that we're better than we were 10 years ago. And I'm glad I stayed in it. Because right now, at times, you start going, why do I keep doing this? People think that. I love it. I'm not going to go broke doing this, but
that's real shit right there. No. And to your point, that's all RJ and his brother trying to do. Like, nobody's out here trying to, as he said, he got really offended. Someone said, he's going to pay for his new pro stock. You think this guy really cares?
The guy's put on 6 events at his. He's probably lost money every single year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He literally has lost every. I mean, he ain't going to come out and say it, but I guarantee you the guy's minimally broke even or lost money every year trying to put on a poll, which I think is a great event.
Trying to grow it, and
right.
like I said, it was this has been our number one show of all time. I think I say that a lot, but this really
if you wouldn't say that all the time, it would have some integrity.
well,
Chase.
it's called Snowball. You ever seen Snowballs?
Yeah,
he lives on Integrity Farms though.
Hey, I remember when this started as an idea. Look where we are now.
Yeah, that's true. And
Chase manifests things on this podcast, and it comes true most of the time.
Well, I want to manifest one more thing before we go. Like, I love Ricky Rose. He was our guest. We all love Hutch. It's where I first got my first Grand National win. It's a wonderful pull. Man, like, if there's anything they can do to get that pull to a different weekend, it would be awesome to not have to have events compete with each other over top of it. Like, I know that's totally out of our control, but like,
there's a
hate
place
to
all
see.
this can work together. This ecosystem is not big enough for anyone not to get along. So
yeah,
I'm confident.
I mean, the other side of that is, doesn't
resolved.
PPL have an event at Macville that weekend? I mean, that's unfortunate, that there are overlapping events, but man, when you're looking at the schedule and trying to plug in an event, he was late in the game. 6 years ago, a lot of these polls that we go to have already been kind of set in stone for so long, right?
Yeah.
And he plugs himself into an open weekend, and it's worked out good up until now. Leap year jumps in, or Labor Day, whatever the hell you want to say, it changes the dates up, and people have to do what they got to do to make their event work. It's not a good deal what's going to happen this year, but I just, if you want to run for points and be given a piece of paper at the end of the year and your pride to say that you won the points and you got $5,000 for winning that class, hey, man, it's something we've been trying to do every year. But I want to win $50,000 and be able to walk away and say, I did that.
We always said if someone wins this event, they can just go buy the NTPA championship from
You
somebody.
can buy all the trophies.
Yeah.
You can buy all the trophies.
There's room for all this to work out. And there's a lot of great people in this sport making decisions. And the No Practice Podcast is here to give our input. It's about the nicest way I can say it.
Once again, we take none of the credit. We give all the credit to our guests. Tonight being Mr. RJ, and a shout out from Mr. Travis as well.
Kind of repeat.
Yep. So we're at 20. We're at 26. We're officially, our next episode's our 1 year anniversary. We're going to. Oh wow.
RJ, we get to say goodbye to you.
Yeah, I paid the light bill, guys. We forgot to guys. Guess you got to charge the phone.
No wonder you want $2,500 to enter. You can't pay your light bill.
Yeah.
That's why I need your money. I mean,
all right.
If you could send it in.
RJ, confirm the rumor. Were they talking at the Enderley about next year ending the points race there? Is that confirmed, or is that?
I have heard that, but I hope they change their mind because it's getting too late in the year. There's too many runs to Ohio at the end of the season. It burns you out. You can't keep doing it. There's
5 weekends in a row, really.
Yeah, you got Napoleon. You have Bowling Green, Wellington, Canton, and then
depending on.
you have too many. It's too many in a row. Can't do it.
What do you mean? You forgot the Enderley. I mean, that's actually truly 6. Or, I mean, Sandwich and then the Enderley, but I mean, it's still a lot in a row.
It's just too much.
Not everybody's like from Indiana, where every trip is roughly 4 or 5 hours. I mean, some people got to drive a long way to get there.
That's fair.
I mean, 10 hours. It's 10 hours for us. The Enderley. It's just that's a whole day just in driving. We're wasting that we should be working. I mean, and that's no sleep. That's 20 hours. Just I mean, it's just hard to do. We just need to. That's why I really want to push hard for this series, and yeah, I don't know who wouldn't want to say that. Everyone's going to want to say that, Amanda. I mean,
I agree. I agree. RJ,
I want to tell everybody but the tax man that I won $50,000.
RJ, any final words besides that? Where to get tickets when they can hang on to announcements? We got to wrap this thing up here pretty quickly.
Why do we have to go? I mean, you guys are probably just going to – Jason Schultz is going to FaceTime us right when we get off this. It's crazy.
Well, not the other 8,
This is probably the longest show we've ever had, so we probably need to be shutting her down. We can stay on a little bit longer, though. Plus, my bladder's telling me we got to go.
Oh, I got to pee very badly.
Oh, hey, we do have to address one quick thing. it was just asked, what about the 6th class?
Oh.
Okay. So it's not official, but we do want to bring on, we'd really like to bring some mods in here. And we've got a couple competitors already said that they'd come in on board for 5,000 buy-in. So it might only be just 5 of them, you know, or something like that, or 2, who knows? But and then I wouldn't mind bringing the old semis in. You know, I mean, we got it. Last year I won here. We got to at least try to, you know, keep it going, right?
Yeah, I'd say you get mods or semis, bring all the drivers up on stage at the milestone, even if you just had them riding Saturday, and talk it out live in front of everybody and say, all right, who's good to all throw 1,000 in? And everybody's like, yeah, I'm good with 1,000. All right, who's good at 1,500? All right, everybody's good at 1,500. Yeah, it'll be like an auction. 75, and we'll just have guys just, 2,000, 2,500, and even got 3,250. And just the pressure will be on the social setting of a driver up there not wanting to be the first guy to back that down. So even if you have 4 mods, you'll have 4 guys throwing in $6,000 and winner take all on Saturday night. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I want to do. I just want to grow the sport. I want to bring money to it. And that's all I want to do. I know you guys all want to grow the sport. We've all talked about this. Fans, we're going to have ticket sales. They'll be eventually available ahead of time. You'll be able to see it as we follow 300 Raceway on Facebook. We got our website, you know. Also, you know, you can follow me personally or, you know, Simon Says Motorsports as well. We share it all the same on them. But pullers, right now I'm calling out pullers. Minis, 2-wheel drives, 4-wheel drives. Get signed up. If it's something's going on or whatever, you want to talk to me or you don't like something or you're wanting to make a suggestion or whatever the situation may be, talk to me. But I don't wait till the last minute. Sign up. I mean, 2 of my friends on this screen, Adam and Chase, drug their feet. I had to hound them. Finally, they did it. Don't do that.
Hey, dude, I've had a lot of shit going on. I don't need your input on that.
No. I'm not saying it that way. But I'm just saying, like, don't think you're going to wait till the last minute and then sign up. That's not what I mean. Yeah, you got to piss. I get it. Your bladder's
basically, RJ called me a bitch, and I don't follow social media that close. And when he called me a bitch, I was sign up the next day.
My biggest thing, guys, is I just need the data to be able to talk to you. If I can get enough 35, 45, whatever mini rods, and we say, screw it, it's closed, I can then email all of you, talk to you, what the plans are, give you a voice. If I don't get enough, we may need, you know, the Super Farm guys are banging on our doors wanting this so bad. Like, they want it, like, they can taste it. And right now, you mini rod guys, you're at the bottom of the tree. You know, you're falling behind, so step it up. You know, I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to switch anyone out, but they're begging for it. I mean, literally. I mean, the 3.0 diesel truck guys, I mean, these guys are, you know, there's so many classes that are just literally banging on my door saying, I have 40 of them ready right now, period. You send the checks. I mean, there's other classes there, so I don't want to do that. I want you guys. I want 2-wheel drives. I want 4-wheel drives. A lot of the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive thing stems from that's where my family started in. The mini rods, I want that because you guys are all my friends and you all begged me for this. You know, like I cut you guys out last year and I got more shit for that from you 3 especially.
That's right.
Than I've ever. I mean, I ate a lot of crow for it. So
we backed it up. All 3 of us are signed up, right?
I get it, but you all 3 have friends. And a lot of your friends are not signed up. So you
Hey, I have no friends in the mini rod class. Nobody likes me.
You got customers.
Not the mini rod class.
Bullshit. You got a lot of them from Wisconsin that haven't signed up, so don't give me that. Tyler, you got friends that you pull in PPO with that are not signed up. A lot of them.
Okay. Well, we've set a record on time spent, and we set a record on viewers. I have no doubt that the Farley 300 is going to be a record show. It already is. And like we talked about earlier, if it's not, just make it a points hook. You can eliminate all this bullshit and just make it a points hook.
This is going to happen, though. Don't even talk like that.
Well, I'm just saying hypothetically, but we, RJ, can't tell you how much we appreciate coming on here and letting us promote your pull on our platform. And we are full supporters, and whatever we got to do to make this happen, we're going to make it happen. So
we just had 5 more entries, so we must have licked some people up. So don't drag your feet.
The maximum mini rod you'll get 30.
Was it Doc Christensen with every vehicle he owns?
Two-wheel drive. There's no explanation for two-wheel drives. I can't explain that one to you.
Nope, there's 1 mini, 2 two-wheelers, and 2 4-wheel drives. So they're out there, guys. It's doable. We're over halfway with the 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers, so it's there, guys. Get off of it, get it done. If you got questions, reach out to me. It's going to be an event for the ages, and hey, I hope it happens again in 26, but we don't know. So
let's just make this one happen. It's already going to happen. We're all behind it.
Oh, it's happening. There's no ifs and or buts.
RJ, thank you. And
thank you.
We have pulling every weekend from now to the middle of November, or actually there's 1 weekend off in October, full pull live. Tune in and watch. And then lastly, we don't like to cry on this show, and it's hard not to cry, but Adam, we love you, brother. Bob Miner is in our thoughts. I know you're a trooper and don't like to talk about it, but rest in peace to Bob and you and your family and his family. We should have said this in the beginning, but we don't like to cry and get emotional. But at the end, brother, love you, and we're there for you.
A true legend.
I appreciate it, man. If you notice, you mentioned my gray hairs. I think I gained some more in like the past week. But just for anybody that didn't know, last Wednesday, or the last podcast we did, September 11th, Bob Miner passed away. My mom called me during the show, and I'm like, she knows better than to fucking call me. Like, I had to ignore it, and then she called me again. I still ignored it again, but she was trying to tell me what was going on. I had so much fun on the last show. I mean, I thought every time I think it gets a little bit better and better. I really enjoy doing this. MBR definitely took a big loss. It was just me and him. For anybody that don't know, it's not like we have a big group of 15 employees here. It's me and a 72-year-old man that do all these engines for all these guys. And Bob's been an integral part of the whole operation the whole time. He built a hell of a platform. I mean, I was still in high school whenever he purchased the company, and he's built cylinder heads, manifolds, and the entire engine up to what it is today, and it is leaps and bounds better than it was when he took over it. So now that he's kind of laid it in my hands at a sooner time than I thought it was going to be, now it's on me to carry on his legacy. We're going to do the best we can. It's been stressful. The old heart's been hurting me. But I think we're going to strive and carry on in his name. This name, the engine has changed names over the years. I don't think it should anymore. I think it's always should be known for what the man did for it. But we're going to carry on his legacy, and hopefully the customers will be a little bit patient with me. And we're going to get through this, and we're going to go on to bigger and better things, I hope. But sure going to miss him. I think losing my dad 5 years ago, RJ losing your dad 5 years ago, you kind of know, or you kind of wakes you up to life and what's coming, because it's all inevitable. It just sucks at the timing sometimes when these people leave, but you can't sit and sulk about it. You got to get up on your feet here and get back to work. So we're gonna miss him dearly, and thank you for everybody that's reached out, sent a message, that's cared about him. He lived a very simple life. He was a very simple man, and he surely would appreciate all his customers and stuff that have been reaching out, and everybody that's supported him over the years. So, I appreciate the couple minutes here to talk about a great man, and we're going to work hard to keep it going.
think it's a good
Absolutely.
sign for
Thoughts
us.
and prayers
Adam,
to you guys and your family and his family as well.
and Adam,
Appreciate it, guys.
You will more than carry it on and take it to another level. So,
Try
RJ,
to.
thanks for coming on. Adam, Tyler, it's all about friends and family. Love you guys. I think it's a good sign off. Cheers to you all. Thanks for joining the No Practice Podcast.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
For the ultimate pulling showdown, join us live on September 28th as Full Pull Live brings you the Mid-South Pullers Association Woodbury Championships straight from Woodbury, Tennessee. Catch every moment of the action from your living room and feel like you're in the center of the excitement. New users can dive in with an exclusive subscription offer for just $19.99. Don't miss a moment of the action. Subscribe now and experience the thrill of Full Pull Live.
Bye-bye. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the No Practice Podcast.
Have a good one. Bye.
Stay tuned for the next episode, where we guarantee there still won't be any practice.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.